We're never satisfied, and therefore never happy.
Which controller do I grab?
The Xbox One.
Right.
That's the one. Oh, this gotta go. Okay, let's do
It's
it.
gonna ruin the whole game using this controller.
Yo, do I gotta put the shit back on the screen already?
Should I hit play or what?
It's not the visual. The people can't even see the visual yet. Look at what the people are looking at. And you already talking about the controller.
There's people.
I mean,
I'm just trying to brutally murder everybody.
There's the potential for people. It's really all we're guaranteed. All right, let's remove this. All right, put your shmoney away. Let's be iconic. Oh, shit. Your boys are back. I'm taking up most of the frame. I didn't turn the light on either. Oh, my God. There we go.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Can I get in here? I'm not in it at all.
A little bit this way, yeah.
This way.
Wait, why am I on the right? I should be on the left side. Why am I on the right side? What the hell is that about? Hold up. Let's mirror this camera.
Yeah, that's not the sides we're on.
I changed some settings today. Full transparency. I changed some settings today, and now everything is kind of weird. So we're gonna have to do some adjustments on the fly. I'm trying to get a rock solid 60 FPS. I want better frame rate. So I've made some visual concessions to try to get us some better frame rate.
I'm gonna get another beer while you're doing that.
Go for it.
Alcohol's cool on this, right?
Yeah, we fine. We totally in the good on that. We in the good. All right, cool. There, now we're on the right side.
I should have brought some whiskey and been like,
right?
we're gonna get smashed on whiskey while playing this game.
It wouldn't be the first time it's happened on this channel. Wouldn't be the first time this week. Oh my god. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one, guys. Tom's in the mood. He's gonna slaughter foes. I'm gonna watch and commentate as I usually do, and it's gonna be a good time. I'm also openly taking feedback on how the visuals look because, like I said, I'm trying some new shit today. Hopefully this gets us nicer frame rates, smoother visuals. I committed to 720 instead of 1080 because I just feel like it's fine for what we're doing and it's gonna make everything run a lot smoother. Also, I did some research and I see like feels like that's my sweet spot. So we're gonna do this way and hopefully the visuals are buttery smooth and Krispy Kreme donuts. Let's go. We in the building. Legends.
Such a good game.
Legends. Oh, you know what we need? Game audio. That would help things, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Here we go. Watch this. Bam. Holy shit, that game is loud. Yeah.
Murder. Ja Rule?
That was appropriate to the situation. I love my shed blood.
No.
For my
That's DMX, man.
The Dark Man X.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I
that's
figured,
good.
Ja Rule was. I mean, if that was.
Don't mention the two together.
Well, I came in with the murder. You immediately were like, nah, there's no room for Ja Rule in this house. So I went to DMX. It felt like the right thing to do.
But then you're putting them too close together. Oh, this is where Cash's family's been caught up, and I gotta rescue them. I don't know if that's his dad or whatever the fuck, some nondescript relative.
Is there a reason we're not
cousin,
hearing,
whatever, who the fuck knows? Huh?
Is there a reason we're not hearing dialogue right now?
Yeah, I don't know.
We should be hearing dialogue, right?
I think so, yes.
Why would we not be hearing? Did I?
Maybe it's just a weird thing with the game.
Did I forget to unmute? No, I did.
It's on. There's sound.
Okay. It was just being weird for a second.
Yeah.
Maybe that was, I don't know, just because we unloaded the save game or whatever.
I know this part. This is tough here.
Come on. There we go. Let's go.
Alright.
Oh, let's go. I'm in. I'm feeling good about it. Oh, that's your headphones. Sorry. Your headphones loud enough?
Yep.
Cool.
It's all for your benefit.
Ooh! You got guns? Damn.
I got a tranquilizer rifle.
Why don't I remember you having a gun last time?
I picked it up toward the end.
Ooh, how does it feel to be back?
Good.
I'm going to change the location of this mic just a little bit.
Do it.
Yeah, professional.
Nah, I gotta be careful here.
Yeah.
Because if that guy sees me, he's gonna kill my dad or cousin or brother or whatever the fuck.
My nephew, my uncle.
One of these fucking people.
Someone's going to get their ass kicked. Somebody's going to get their wig split.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be one of my fam, you know?
Like maybe the greatest lyric sheet of all time. The professional wrestler Mark Henry, are you familiar?
Yes, I am. Sexual chocolate. Yes.
Absolutely. So when he was rebranded as like a monstrous killing machine, inducting people into the Hall of Pain, they changed they changed his theme song, and the lyrics go as follows: somebody's gonna get their ass kicked, somebody's gonna get their wig split, somebody's gonna get their ass kicked, somebody's gonna get their wig split. Beat him up, break his neck, beat him up, break his neck, Possibly the greatest lyric sheet of all time.
Sounds like an Onyx song.
Back the fuck up. Yo, I wish we could play copyrighted music. I would just put Onyx on, like, that entire first album just on in the background while we play this game. Imagine. It would be incredible.
I didn't save the guy. Kind of sucks.
Oh shit. You can catch that redo if you want. So your cousin nephew is dead?
Yeah.
Damn.
Dead cousin nephew. Sorry, one of my other relatives. I'll try to save them.
Well, now you have like even more motivation for vengeance.
Yeah, you know, it's still the beginning. I just got started.
Damn, I'm not feeling the spirit of vengeance running through your veins right now.
I'm trying to just get at these dudes here.
I think you blew it, geek boy.
Clearly, you and your cousins weren't close. Is
Nah.
the sentiment from the chat?
Nah, I mean this dude's been on death row for a long time. He ain't gonna be close with his family.
Right. Understand. There's only so far a family could take you anyway.
Yeah.
In a world like this, you know. What up, Shan? Money's in the chat for Big Shan.
Little puppy, walk into my side.
Oh, I love the audio. I keep forgetting about the audio mix in
Yeah,
this
it's
game.
great.
God damn, that stereo audio. Using them binaural techniques, putting that shit in your head. Which, you know what?
Ideas, yeah.
If there's one thing I gotta say that's been incredible in the last year or so in gaming, is that binaural audio mixing is becoming like standard for like big budget games.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
It's
fuck,
great in this one.
dude. I've been a huge fan of binaural recording techniques like since forever, for like the last 20 years. So the fact that it's becoming like commonplace in video games is like really making me happy because I'm like, yes, the whole stereo field. Yes.
Yeah.
Like create distance. Yes.
Yeah, and you know this game did it in a big way.
Yeah, man. This game
And I don't think a lot of games are doing it yet.
real ahead of the curve on that shit.
Bro, I don't know that. I'd have to research more, but I'm pretty sure this is one of the early ones.
I was gonna say it's one of the earliest. I can't really think of like what was doing it to this degree. You know what I mean? Where it's like really essential. Yo, I found out today that the PS4 Spider-Man suit is in the Spider-Verse movie. It is? When?
Whoa.
That suit is ugly as fuck. Not gonna lie, can't wait for y'all to stream Final Fantasy VII again. Well, I don't know if anything's gonna quite live up to the masterpiece that was that fucking drunken monstrosity of an episode 1, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. It's nice playing it on the Switch, man.
I see him there.
Though I don't know, like I gotta ask some questions about their thought process because they re-rendered all the character models in HD. But all the backgrounds are still the static PS1 backgrounds, and they look like shit compared to the up-res character models. I'm like, you would think if you were gonna do one, you would do the other. But that being said, they added in. Were you like a?
Yo, I didn't play like any of those.
You don't mess with those kind of games.
Final Fantasy, nah. I like this kind of thing, this kind of game that's gritty, realistic, and has a good story. That's my favorite kind of thing.
Right. Well, they added in a cool. Well, you know, you're at least familiar with how those games function, right? Like you know, like
Yeah.
So they added in a cool feature with the Switch version where you can literally click in the sticks and turn the random battles on and off whenever you want. So like if you're exploring a room and you want to just kind of like look for the treasure or whatever, instead of having to get into 12 fights while you're like running around the room, you can literally just turn the fights off until you're done exploring and then turn them back on.
Huh.
Which is pretty cool.
Alright.
Like you gotta be like diligent and not live on that feature because then you won't level up enough to like be good in the game. But it's cool that it's there, and they also added
Probably
in.
depends on your context a lot too.
Yeah, and they added in a feature where you can speed up the game to 3 times the speed. So when you're doing like massive attacks that are like 30-second animations of like, you know, monsters coming down and dropping shit on a motherfucker, and you've seen the animation like 50 times, you can speed it up and just go 3 times as fast. So like it's like these like tiny little quality of life improvements that I thought were really interesting that they added, you know? Because they're like assuming the people buying this game on the Switch in 2019 have been playing this since it came out in fucking 96.
And they probably have.
Yeah, they're like, you know, so I thought it was really interesting. Final Fantasy VII is gritty and has a great story. Realistic, not so much. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's fair. That's very fair. Right. It is gritty and it does have a great story about you know,
Yeah, but is this gritty?
No. I mean, the characters literally have block hands. You know what I mean?
So I just sniped these guys out, and look, I got to rescue my sister, cousin,
Oh,
or whatever the
shit.
fuck
Go
she
on.
is.
Oh,
Run, you
depending where we are, that could be all right.
I don't know.
Oh, you got a nice headshot, Tom.
Hostage situations are kind of bad for ladies.
Oh my god! It's in the scene when they go in the room with all the suits. Really? I didn't notice that. I gotta check that out again. That's awesome. Damn, that movie, man. They really went all out. You see it, Spider-Verse?
Nah, I didn't.
It's fucking great, man. Fucking great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Shit, I really gotta watch it then.
Yeah, you'll dig it.
I want to play that PS4 Spider-Man. That shit looks really good.
Dude,
Because I like that
fucking-
Spider-Man 2
dude.
from back in the day, and I keep hearing that
Yo, hell yeah,
it's
man.
reminiscent of that. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh my god, yeah. It
Because
was.
that shit was great. That open world.
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah. No, this new Spider-Man was absolutely made by people who fucking loved that game.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Matter of fact, yo, fucking borrow it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm playing Sekiro right now, so like I'm not gonna go back to that for a minute.
Yeah, I'll borrow that.
Yeah, fucking bring it back and finish it.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Look at that, I'm borrowing it.
Yeah, man. Literally, all I have left.
While I free my uncle, dad, or whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah.
They don't tell you what
Trust
relatives
no
they
one.
are.
I-
It's like, we took your family.
Right.
Okay? Nondescript relative, there you go. So we lost one so far, but I've rescued 2. There should be one more family member to rescue.
So yeah, not
There
only
you go, there she is. There's my, whoever the fuck she is and to me.
so not only did I beat the game in my free time, Sean and I beat the game on stream. Like all I have left to do in the game is get the platinum trophy. So like I'm not ready to go back to it yet. So play that shit, beat that shit.
I'm stopping for a second because we're not hearing Starkweather's voice.
What's
I
that
wanna
about?
See if that's an issue with. I don't know what it is.
We should be. Let me check.
Yeah, we're not hearing his voice.
It seems like it's a glitch.
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck. Really?
Cause he says shit as he's guiding you through, and the
Let's see.
subtitles come up, but you don't hear the voice.
My audio settings should be fine. I didn't change nothing.
This is another ghost contact.
You could hear their voices, but you don't hear Starkweather for some reason.
If
It's
you
weird.
if you want, we could do a restart on the game, but you have to be at a save point, right? You know, so.
I don't think I give that much of a fuck about it.
All right, fuck it. It's being weird.
They're just gonna kill motherfuckers anyway. And look at them wandering around over there instead of coming towards me.
They're making
except this
mistakes.
guy.
What we got? Oh, okay, we got. Dan and I beat the
let's
entire
take
game
a
on
bit,
streams.
this
And also,
mother-
best representation of Manhattan in a video game. I recommend walking the streets. Yeah, it's like when you're walking the streets, people are like, "Oh, Spider-Man!" And you can like stop and take selfies with them and like, yeah,
That's funny.
It's pretty great. It's pretty fucking great, man. It's one of those things. Like it's just the game to me feels like it was made by people who absolutely loved Spider-Man 2.
How
like,
did you not? That was a really good game.
Right, and they took note of everything that was beautiful about that game and all the little annoyances, and they just fixed the little annoyances.
Yeah.
And like it's nearly perfect. It's nearly it's incredible, man. Yeah. It's and even the way they dole out the content of the
I
game.
can't wait to try it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, fucking rock that shit. It'll put a smile on your face for sure. Like,
I could use that.
and the way they dole out the content in the game is cool because you never feel overburdened with like side shit to do. It just keeps coming at a pretty regular clip, and even if you like, you know how like there's really like a few different types of brains when it comes to video games. Like I'm the type that when they give me, oh, you've opened up the base assault missions, right? And like 13 markers pop up on the map. Well, now I'm gonna go do all 13 of those because that's the way my brain works. I'm like, oh, you gave me a checklist. I'm gonna check everything off the list. Like that's how.
Oh, yeah, I do that too a bit, but a lot of times what I'll do is play a game like all the way through and then go back and play it again and like get the extra shit.
Well,
because I'm caught up in the story a lot.
Well, that's what I was gonna say about this game. The way that this game doles out the extra shit in the game, they sprinkle it into progression just enough so that you're doing a bit of everything as you go. Even if you're just trying to plow through the story, you're doing a bit of everything as you go. And then by the time you go, okay, I want to clean that up, you go, oh, I have 4 bases left to do. Like, you know what I mean? It never feels like a super daunting task. Like it's it's very carefully considered that way. The side content, you know what I mean? They give you just
like it's almost part of the main story. But
yeah,
okay.
and some of the side missions, like the little
Yeah.
like story chunks that are like not in the main story, are like just as good. So it's really well done.
Kill zone here. I need to buddy up with someone.
As far as Spider-Man, reading the chat. As far as Spider-Man games go, it gets the Universal title. Brock Lesnar reign gets put
Wow.
gets put over by Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Yeah, it is. It's that good. It's the best Spider-Man game ever.
Shit, can't
it's
wait to play it then.
unquestionable the best. Yo, why did DMX have that one line where he's like, "Yo, be careful which line you choose." He's like, yo, why DMX have that one line where he's like, and then there's nothing. I'm like, yeah, you better be real careful which line you choose.
Yeah, I don't know what he's about to say there.
My favorite thing in the world is
The
listening.
lawnmower is sitting right next to the tree.
The lawnmower
Okay.
sitting right next to the tree. Yo, fucking, my favorite thing in the world to do.
To
Again,
the tree?
again-
A lawnmower can't take down a tree.
again, if you want to, if you want to put an instant smile on your face,
Yeah.
go to YouTube and type in the words DMX radio edit.
Radio edit.
Yes, because when you listen
That's
to
like what my parents made me listen to.
when
I
you
was a
listen
kid.
to a DMX, DMX songs in radio edit form
Oh, it's terrible.
are avant-garde masterpieces of noise collage.
No,
because he can't get through a sentence.
It's a nightmare.
It's like there is nothing even resembling a coherent thought. It's like he says two words and then you get like
Yeah.
It's like this.
When I was young,
It's
my parents
insane.
didn't want me listening to DMX, and I did anyway, of course, as any good, 10-year-old or whatever would do. But like, they made me listen to clean versions, and I was just like, this is bullshit. Like, why even bother? Just
Oh my god! But the genius of whoever mixed those, like the
so somebody made a funny one.
yeah,
All right.
well,
Then that's
No,
different.
they are funny.
Well, yeah, I guess they're
they're
funny.
hilarious.
They weren't funny to me at the time,
Well,
though.
you
'Cause
were-
I was pissed, man.
You
I
were
was
stuck
like-
with it, yeah.
Like, first off, we're censoring art.
Yes.
Secondly, at 10, I'm mature enough.
Right.
You know,
Well,
I understand these are Wild West type stories. Like, I get it. You know?
You were coming from a different angle, but now you would appreciate it.
Oh, I
'Cause
probably would like it
because
more
it's
now.
fucking hilarious. Like, and to me, the fact that someone got paid a day in the studio for that.
Because I'll tell you, I didn't like that shit then. I was mad. I was like,
No,
yo,
you didn't-
fuck that. I'm gonna find a way to listen to this shit anyway.
If
And
someone
I
brought-
probably got a tape, like a cassette tape, and recorded somebody's CD onto my cassette tape,
Yeah.
like they used to do.
No, but really,
And that was probably how it went down.
how can you even buy like fucking flesh in my flesh, blood on my blood? Is there an
Yo, I got that shit on Tidal, yo.
Is there an
Fucking great
uncensored?
album.
Could there even be an uncensored version of that? I mean, a censored,
I don't
a
wanna
censored
know
version of
about
that
it.
album.
There is, yes.
Like how?
I don't know.
How could you even do it?
They try. You know? I don't know if it exists anymore, but
I want
they really like somebody might have just been like, "Yo, stop."
I'm not gonna lie, that's my favorite he ever put out. I love that album.
It's a good album. And yo, today I was listening to the one he did with Marilyn Manson.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Why can't
that's
we get some guys that's
some hot shit.
Someone worth sacrificing.
That's for real.
Dude, like DMX. All right, it's
First off, that he did a song with Marilyn Manson. It's fucking cool already.
it's easy prey in terms of his silly ass behavior. Like watching him try to use a computer.
Nah, but that's
You know, all
if
the-
you
all-
listen to that track, yo, that's fucking artwork.
But
He's
that's
an
what I was gonna
artist.
say.
I've
But
seen the dude live. Like,
as a
he's
right,
no joke.
as an artist, DMX is fucking
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
His albums always have themes, right? All the records have themes.
Yeah.
It's all very considered.
But a lot of it is sort of like the theme is like internal struggle, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like there's
right,
all
it's
these
different.
bad shit around me.
It's different colors of the same theme, basically, but they all feel
Don't
different.
stop until
though,
you're out of
you know,
yeah.
like what's the one? The one with the fucking ridiculous dog on the cover. Oh my god.
Oh, that one's like
I can't remember the name right now. It's not in my head.
yeah, I forget that one. I don't know, man. I feel like really the ones to talk about are fucking flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, and it's dark and hell is hot.
Yeah, well,
Those two are
he
the.
came out on fire, man.
Those are the real ones, yeah.
No, but he's
It's dark and hell is hot is no joke. And honestly, when I've spoken to people who downplay DMX as a talented rapper, I tell them to listen to the intro of that album.
Yep.
He's no joke on just like the intro to that shit.
Oh wait, I gotta see the chat. I lived through DMX radio edits in real time, early 2000 censorship. It would be like a cop siren or a glass breaking or a baby crying. Bro, DMX smoked that crack. We all knew. You know?
Yeah, but like, of course. I mean,
Oh, this is funny though. Look, he's like, you know what's crazy about DMX?
he's real hood.
He hasn't put out a legitimate hit since like 2003, and he's still hella relevant. Grand Champ. Yeah, Grand Champ. That's the record. That's the yes.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's the one that got Bring It. What? We ride here.
We ain't going anywhere. We ride here.
That was good, yeah.
Ooh, I want to hear that shit. I'm going on a DMX binge. It already happened.
I almost got in a fight with this dude at a fucking DMX concert because motherfucker was trying to cut in front of the coat check line. And for me, cutting in front of me in line is the thing I might fucking punch somebody out for, you know? Not to try to act like a tough guy or nothing, but like, it makes me mad to that extent.
Yeah, it's a level of...
It's a real, like...
It's a level of privilege someone should not have at a DMX show.
So... I might approach somebody as politely as possible, being like, "Yo, you didn't fucking see me here," like that being the level of polite I can do in that situation.
Right.
And you know, I love manners and politeness; it's my favorite thing. But I get pushed to levels.
Sure.
As we all do.
Dude, I think when you're walking the virtuous path, you have to wield a sword sometimes. Like people who act like you can't. I'm like, you're bugging. Even Jesus Christ flipped that motherfucking table. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. He got mad at one point, and then he was like, "Yeah, it's cool, it's love." But he did get mad for a second, being all like, "I will, fight against evil and shit."
Yeah, the motherfucker, you will get put down.
So even Jeebus was down like that.
Yeah, man. Well, that's the thing. Like people confuse like having a love for peace. Or even like,
with being like a wimp,
yeah, and it's like, no, man, I will wield the blade of justice, like, like, come on, let's not, like, you gotta do it. If I see somebody I love getting mistreated, we gonna step right the fuck up,
But yeah, so the code check line was long, and
of course it was. Or else if it was breezy, you wouldn't have gave a fuck.
This was at BBQ's in Times Square. Which I never want to be in Times Square anyway. But it's a BBQ's, and, we're in the coat check line, trying to get our coats. It's a mess. It's not clear where the line starts or ends. I'm somewhere, and fucking, there's a dude, like, trying to just be ahead of the whole fucking line. And
Right.
Like, yo, dude, nah. Back the fuck up, because, like, fuck you. And... he was about to have words back, and I just cut him off. I was like, nah, motherfucker, you don't have shit to say. What you need to do is get to the back of the line.
Oh, here we go.
And I seen him, and he looked like he was ready to go, so I put my hands up, and at that exact point, security fucking yoked the dude by his throat and fucking pulled him out.
He had it coming.
I should have punched him when security yoked him.
Nah, no, come on. Come on.
Just snuck one in.
Vaya. Hijo se jodió. Toma. And then said, Toma.
Bam!
That'd be fucked up. That would be
Maricon and shit.
Dan, how far are you in The Wire? I am almost done with season 2. Thank fucking Christ.
I watched the whole thing, man. That shit's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm loving it.
Wait, you're in season 2?
I'm in season 2.
With the dock workers.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yo.
It started slow. That season started a little slow for me.
My man, no, that's a good season. 3.
Get out to the crate.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm not even gonna tell you what the context
Don't,
is.
please don't. I don't want to know
But
nothing.
you understand that they
want
look
you
at the city
to
from
follow
different
him.
points of view.
Yeah, I dig it. I
So
dig
the
it a
first
lot.
one was the street hustlers.
Yes.
The second one's the dock workers, because they're mixed up in it too.
Yep. Right.
The
you're
next point
you're
of view
getting,
you
you're
get?
getting a picture of the whole map.
I'm not telling you the next
Don't
point
tell
of
me
view you get,
nothing.
but it's gonna fuck you up. Oh, this is a gun
fucking
level. This is
the-
a gun level right here.
The little punk bitch kid just shot the dude in the fucking. He just shot the motherfucker and got arrested. And like that's the last episode I watched.
When they shot who?
You know there was the
when
two.
they shot Wallace.
No, there's the two cousins. The white kids. one of them is like.
Oh, yeah. Ziggy and one of the other ones.
Yeah. And
Ziggy's a fucking idiot. He's
the
got a
fucking
big mouth.
idiot.
Yeah,
Got the big mouth. He just tried to do the car deal and he shot the guy because he like skimped him on the money. Yeah. And that's the last episode I saw. Yeah, I did not see.
Ziggy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no, I can't stand that character, man. I want him to be out, but
I wouldn't go so far as I can't stand the character, but like, he's a fucking idiot.
The guy's doing a fine job with the performance. I just want to choke that character,
and that character sucks.
Yeah. The thing that broke.
But you need him.
The thing that broke my heart was that when D'Angelo died, I didn't see that coming. I was like, oh no, like.
I didn't like D'Angelo. I found him annoying. And I thought he was kind of soft.
Well, he was non-committal.
He was not made for that shit. He shouldn't have been in it.
He was non-committal. Like,
I guess that's the whole point. Like, it's sad that he was even mixed up in it.
Right. Well,
not that guy.
And the parallels at the end when he was in the book club and he said, like, you know, that whole speech about you know, running head first in a fate like that, and, you know. And I was like, man. Like, right there, I was like, they're gonna kill him. They're gonna
I like when he was teaching the dudes chess.
Yeah.
They were playing
chess.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
like, nah, yo, you gotta play chess. It's better.
Yeah, he was a smart guy.
He's a thoughtful guy.
He was very thoughtful, but he knew it wasn't for him, and he never got out. And the thing is, his fucking mom, man. He was gonna turn, and then his mom talked him out of it, and that's it. That was the end. Instead, he took.
Dude, when you see season 4, you are gonna lose your shit because the point of view in that season. Oh man,
don't tell me that.
All I can tell you is you're gonna love it. It's the best.
I'm gonna watch it all,
it's
man. I'm in. Well, it does so many of the things that I like. Like, you know, it does the show but don't tell. You know what I mean? Where you gotta put the pieces together yourself and what's going on with the motivations of the characters, and I really like that.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a lot of expository dialogue, which really just fucking.
No, you just watch them doing shit and put it together yourself.
Yeah. And there's parallels in every group. Like, there's a character in each group that parallels a character in the other group. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the set of thugs, and then you look at the set of cops, and then you look at the set of dock workers, there's, like, parallels of each character.
Interesting. I hadn't thought of that. But I will look into that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. They even beat the same. Like, you know... You can fucking see the thought processes coming after a while because it's like, oh god, it's basically got this like undercurrent of we're all dealing with the same shit, which I really like. You know?
But yeah. And also too, like, to what extent are gangsters and cops are not gangsters?
Right. Yeah, with the fucking bureaucracy.
To what extent are they not?
Yeah.
Right?
Like you see with the.
They might just be part of another gang trying to get their money. You know?
Absolutely.
So that's interesting to look at, and actually, that's sort of the. That's the premise of a lot of Rockstar games.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
The government.
I think Rockstar games are fed on a lot of shows like that. The government, they like those movies and those shows, you know.
Yeah.
Like the Rockstar games always have elements of like the Goodfellas and the Godfather and the Sopranos, like all that, The Wire, all those shows fed the aesthetics of those games.
But they question who the good guys are. And that's really, that's a big thing that I really like about them. Even this one, our hero is a death row inmate whose fucking execution was staged. Like, that's ridiculous. But also, too, you're cheering for him. Because the people chasing him are worse.
Exactly.
Because you know where he's coming from.
He's in a fucking snuff film. Like, you know?
But yo, he's a death row inmate. You know where he's coming from. These other motherfuckers have, you don't know what they're on.
Right, like he at least has some version of the virtuous path that you can get on, which is you know what I mean, like
well, it's kind of like a bad man is what's needed to stop bad men. And that's actually kind of in the Rockstar game too. Bad man is needed to catch bad men.
I want to talk to you
I'm about to die if I'm not.
I want to talk to you. Remind me when I get back. I want to talk to you about the Trevor torture scene.
Okay. Yeah. These gunfights are a lot of fun, but I'm not doing well in this one. Let's see where we're at. There's one guy left, and I can't quite get an angle on him.
Yeah, bunny.
I see.
Get into the meat of this. before we get into the meat of this,
I didn't like it at first, and I still don't love it.
right? Well, before we get into the meat, I don't like it either. But before we get into the meat of this, it bears a little bit of setting up, right? So that you know where I'm coming from in this conversation. So when we're talking about the three main protagonists of Grand Theft Auto 5, right?
All the great.
The way that I see those three characters are as this. I see them all as allegories for the type of players you have playing Grand Theft Auto games.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Yeah. Go in.
All right. So you have
I'm intrigued.
Francis is for the adrenaline car driving people who like to do the race.
Franklin. Yeah.
Franklin, yeah, who likes the people who like to do.
That's why his special is a race.
People who like to drive the cars and all that and get into the customizing the shit and doing the race missions and blah blah blah. Michael is for the people who like the narrative and story beats of the game.
True. Yeah. He it's really centered around him a lot. It's his therapy and everything. Like. They really dive into his life. You're right.
Yeah, and then Trevor is the people who like to turn the game on, create random chaos, get 6 stars, and survive for as long as possible.
Yes, but, and we've discussed this before, Trevor is actually a more complex character than that.
Well, yeah, he has, but I'm talking about this. This is their starting point. Is what I'm saying.
I see what you mean. I just felt like it was necessary to note that.
Right. Again, these are the broad strokes.
For like the one person or however many people.
for the friends keeping an eye.
Very important.
They need to know. So with that allegory in mind. Right, like Trevor is for the cats who like doing the rampage missions.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you're right about that, man, because that was set up just for him.
Yeah, exactly. So with that allegory in mind, I feel like I don't like the torture scene. Like I didn't enjoy playing it, and I was like, it was one of those things where
it's not really necessary.
Yeah, it felt unnecessary. But here's the thing: that was the second time that the game did that to me, because the first time when he stomped the dude out.
Yeah.
Trevor, the fact that he even recovered a modicum for me by the end of the game, in terms of that, in the end, I chose to save them all.
It's good writing.
Yeah. Right? Because I didn't like him. I didn't like him, and in my gut, I still don't.
I liked them immediately.
Right?
Loved them.
Because
he was hell on earth. I love him. Actually, Michael describes him as such. He's hell walking around.
Yes, and that's the thing. When he stomped that dude out, I was like, the defining characteristic of this man is that he's selfish.
I know, but that's not the case at all, because if you pay, like, in fact, I've replayed the story mode a few times, and when you replay it, you see that Trevor's actually in a lot of pain when he finds that his boy might still be around. And that shit puts him in like a state. Johnny, with his bullshit, trying to start a fight with Trevor at that moment, started that fight with Trevor at the wrong possible time.
Right.
Fuck Johnny.
And that's his right. That's his cross to bear. You
know what I mean?
That time can get you done, man. It happens.
Johnny knew that shit would happen.
But
he should have been smarter than that.
But let me stay with it.
Sorry.
Let me stay with it. Let me stay with it.
I get passionate.
No, it's good. I like that. That's why I want to bring it up. I knew we would get into an actual discussion about this.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So I immediately I was put into this zone with Trevor where I saw his defining characteristic as being a selfish person, right? So very self-centered, right? I saw that right away.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. I didn't want to do the torture scene. I didn't feel a power fantasy. I didn't feel like I wanted to do it.
I don't think that's what that was about.
But they make you do it.
The first time you don't realize. Yeah.
You have to do it. They make you do it, and by doing it, you are now complicit in Trevor. You have to at that moment be Trevor.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is why just that moment of making me have to be him starts the thread of me starting to want to know him. And then by the end of the game, I didn't hate him the way I did in the beginning of the game.
I hear all that, but playing it multiple times has put me... It allowed me to see. Like that scene when he's fucking that, like, meth head, you know? And he sees on the news that Michael's alive. He's like, what the fuck? And that shit throws him off completely. He spotted me. I can't believe that happened.
Oh, you're going for style. You know. If you took the kill, you would have had it, right?
I was going for the style, yeah. Ooh, where is it? from? Where did he even come from?
Garbage.
That's ridiculous.
The garbage.
Go back to the garbage.
Hey, you know where you belong? In the garbage where you started.
Yeah, though. That shit's fucked up.
On our side.
It's a weird game, but it's I don't know. I love Trevor because I think he's the most complicated one. Because he actually loves.
Oh, man.
And I don't think any of the other characters do actually love. I think Trevor actually expresses feelings of love to other characters while the others do not. Michael does not, and to me, Franklin does not either. Franklin does somewhat. He has sort of a street thug loyalty.
Right, but Franklin,
he doesn't.
But Franklin also has aspirations beyond his station, and what it takes to get there doesn't matter to him so much. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
Like
So the whole thing with that girl, and then with he's kind of like
he was never gonna change a goddamn thing.
he looks out for Lamar, but he's also kind of. There's a point where he's kind of willing to fucking say, I had enough of his shit, you know. Actually, a few times he's kind of feeling.
Whoa, got him.
Yeah, caught me there. He's kind of feeling like he had enough of fucking Lamar's shit.
But meanwhile, Lamar though, genuine
Love Lamar.
genuine character.
Love Lamar.
There was
Also, too, his whole thing is he's just down.
yeah.
Like his boys, for his
Yeah.
homies, he's down.
He-
Always.
Loves his
No matter what.
sheds blood for his That's how he rolls.
Used to be my dog. He was in my left titty. You ride or die. I thought you'd die with me.
My God.
I
My
listen to that on the train at the end of a hard day of work. I also listen to really, really brutal metal on the way home.
yeah. Fuck yeah.
Like, I listen to like Cannibal Corpse on the way home from work.
No wrong with that.
And I put it on, and I seal myself from the train and the whole world, and it keeps me calm.
Yeah.
Because it's like those guys are carrying out the anger for me.
Absolutely. Dude, I can't tell you how many fucking trips I've taken in my life with Pantera blaring in my fucking ears.
Oh, Pantera's a nice choice. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Good call, good
Just
call.
like genuine aggression, you know what I mean?
I gotta say, I love Cannibal Corpse, though, and I'm late to the party on Cannibal Corpse.
that's a good
big
band.
time.
Yeah, like I'm not
It
not
took
the
me
guy.
time to become mature enough to like them.
That's what I
actually.
was gonna say. Like, I'm not the guy who's listening to that type of music every single day. But when I'm in the mood for music of that caliber, there you can very easily tell the heavyweights from the Pretenders, man. Like
No, those guys. Yeah.
it's like anything else.
I mean,
there's your dope shit and there's your trash. You
they're
know?
old school too, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I listen to like brutal ass metal with like somebody with guttural screaming about dismemberment and shit like that.
Hey, you amigo.
Makes me happy. I gotta kill this fucking guy. This guy's a pain in the ass.
All right, take him. Take his
He's
life.
hiding out in his fucking window.
Beat him up. Beat him up. Break his neck. Break his neck. Beat him up. Beat him up. Break his neck. Break his neck.
I heard him. I tell you.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a reading. Let me get the lyrics.
A reading of what?
Mark Henry's entrance theme. Let's go.
Ah,
We're gonna do it right now.
I got you now.
that was a smarter way to do that this time. See who else might come up. Anybody else? Nope. Yeah, that's an amazing game though, and it's well written. The characters are all really great. You know who's a funny character in that game? Martin Madrazo.
Right?
Cause he's kind of a bitch. I think so, at least. Cause his whole thing is like, you know, people are like not being loyal under his watch. He really doesn't run a tight ship.
No, he does
and it's
not.
a lot of show of like, oh, I'm crazy and people should be afraid of me and fear me. But it's like, nah, you're not really bringing it like that. The three main characters of the game are each more
Dude,
hardcore.
he's practically
by themselves.
a
Martin.
cuck, dude. Like
What? Oh yeah, pretty much, yeah, straight up.
He ain't doing a goddamn thing.
Yeah, ain't even fucking his old wife. Yeah. So like,
Actually, her.
nah, he's fucking younger women.
Her and Trev though, that I love that.
Yeah, it's funny.
And the way the texts keep happening even after you finish the game, oh my god, it's so good. It's it really is. It's a pretty incredible video game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Trevor kind of has what Squizgar has.
Mm-hmm.
From
Wow, that's perfect. That's so real.
There was no move over! You big bastard!
whoever got that got it.
Oh shit, it's by 3-6 Mafia? I never knew that. That's crazy.
3-6 Mafia.
Wow, that makes it even better. All right.
Fat. Okay, I got you.
Oh, I see. This is the part. This is the part of the song that you don't really get. Y'all know what time it is. We ain't playing with ya in the club, in the street. You know what time it is. Get ready for it. Oh, step up ready. Yes, sir. Somebody's gonna get their ass kicked. Somebody's gonna get their wig split. Someone's gonna get their ass kicked. Somebody's gonna get their wig split. Beat him up, break his neck, break his neck. Beat him up, break his neck, break his neck. Beat him up, break his neck, break his neck. Beat him up, break his neck, break his neck.
Alright. Now things are moving a little better. Those are beautiful lyrics. I mean, that's really just poetry is what it is.
Where'd he go?
I never need bod. How could I be scared of a man? I walk through
This guy's a bad shot, because he missed me like 4 times from right there.
I walk through this land like I run this land. Never can you imagine the pain that I bring. If I said I'm gonna do it in the streets, it's the same. It's the K-I-N-G in here, wildest man in the world, and I have no fear. I'm the mean in the mean, the nightmare dream, the root of all evil, the weak fear me. Because someone's gonna get their ass kicked. Someone's gonna get their wig split. Someone's gonna get their ass kicked. Someone's gonna get their wig split. Beat him up, break his neck, break his neck. Beat him up, break his neck, break his neck.
That's nice.
I'm a crazy motherfucker, and I'm coming through the do. Quick to whoop you up and knock your ass to the floor.
Okay.
Think I'm playing with you, but this fist gonna hit you. Always in the hood, #1 wig splitter. Never try to step, cause you know you can't compete. Live by your rep or get thrown in the street. This boy about to act up, you better call for backup. I'll be the next fool in the hood, body stacked up.
Ooh.
Cause somebody's gonna get their ass kicked. Somebody's gonna get their wig split. Someone's gonna get their ass kicked.
So that's the hook then.
Beat him up. Break his neck, break his neck.
You should listen to some Jadakiss because he has excellent lyrics to his songs as well.
We got a
For example,
there's a third verse I've never heard this far into the song.
The song "We Gon' Make It," the first few lyrics are this: "Fuck the frail shit, cause when my coke come in, they gotta use the scale that they weigh the whales with."
Hey, wait, you gotta hear the third verse. It's gonna bring it home. Ready? Here we go. See, I'm a hard hitter, one hitter quitter. Step to me, little buddy. You're stepping up to a gorilla.
Little buddy, damn, that's bad.
I'll bang your head, dog, till your head like eggnog. Don't think I'm scared, dog. I'll leave you in the red, dog. Cause someone's gonna get their ass kicked, as such.
And head split also.
Yes. Wow.
I mean, yeah, and then look, they didn't let go. They didn't let my family go. I saved her. Only one guy they killed.
Oh, that mask was incredible, though.
See, so that guy was fucked. Where were your family when you're facing your final moments in the chamber anyway? Your old life, your old self. I'm all the family you need now. I don't know why we don't hear Starkweather's voice, but I really don't want to start it over.
Yeah, it's definitely a glitch.
Oh, look at him style point!
Go.
Wow! 19 minutes. I did die like a few times
Handled.
on this one though. But, not bad.
Handedly handled.
I got all the stars for style points. It's pretty good.
So it's saved. Do you want to back out and restart the game? See if it works.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so
I think it makes
press
sense.
the X button in the middle. Oh, hold on. Don't do it yet. Well, let me put this up. Get this money up so that people don't see my screen. All right. Press the middle button, right, and then press Y. And say yes. Cool.
All right, I'm gonna grab another beer while this is happening.
Give me a controller.
All right.
I'll get it back to where we were.
You need another beer? You good?
No, I'm good. I actually just cracked one. Beat him up. Break his neck. Beat him up. Break his neck. Break his neck. We here. We right here. We ain't going anywhere. We right here. Okay. Send this money back up. There we go. Ah. Blah, blah, blah. You don't want. Because my name is Old Dirty. I said you don't want. Alright, hopefully we'll get lucky and that'll fix the glitch. Artists! Wow, that's amazing.
Because then it would just be brutality. It would almost be like what you were saying your first impression of Trevor was.
Right.
You know? That it was like gratuitous brutality.
The more I played the game, the more I realized just how
No, he's really complicated.
well and how purposeful it all was. None of it was haphazard. None of it was just for the sake of shock value. There was a purpose behind all of it.
He seriously loved Michael.
Yeah, oh my god,
He
yeah.
loved the shit out of that
in the
guy.
end, in the end, I couldn't kill him because I was.
It's still not.
All right.
Still no.
Yeah, it's definitely a fucking.
whatever.
It's a glitch. That sucks.
All right.
That really sucks. Whatever. It's fine. It's on the
Fun
screen.
level though.
It's on the screen. That's all that matters.
So I have to bust out a partner who Starkweather is pairing me up with, and you'll see who that is if you don't know already.
Stay here and keep watch.
Is this a cameo?
Nah, I have to basically take somebody with me through all this.
Oh, escort
Kinda
mission.
See what I mean? Yeah, it sucks.
The worst.
But it's pretty fun. It's hard, but
Dude,
it's fun.
Sekiro is totally gonna give you these vibes if you play it. I'm telling you, man. It's gonna give you these vibes.
And this guy's standing guard. I have to bust him out of this
Different setting, obviously.
cell he's
But
in. I'm gonna try this
Why
angle.
do we have to wait so long? Why doesn't he want to come out and play?
chill, beast.
Alright, I think I could get him from this angle. Let's see. Motherfucker.
You got him. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna take the whole thing. Nice. This dude got a terrible cone of vision. Homie, look to your
He
left.
got that stupid mask on. It's
Look to your
He might as well be wearing a balaclava.
Callbacks! That's what makes it funny when you bring it back.
Oh, and now I got a sickle as a weapon.
Homie,
Yeah, this is my partner
Yo, I
here.
didn't know they had
He's a
fucking Shan in this game. Look at Shan.
Shan? I'm unfamiliar.
Shan. The artist formerly known as Sean Greeny.
Oh. Yeah, that is Sean Greeny.
No, he's not Sean Greeny no more. He's Shan now.
Oh.
Hence, I covered the mic when I said his government name.
Whatever. He's like a white dude with red hair. Ain't
Damn.
nobody looking for him.
Damn.
Ain't nobody looking for him.
Listen,
He's fine.
he's trying to craft a persona on Twitch. You know
Unless
what I'm saying?
there's like a bookie looking for him.
There could be.
I mean,
Stay put and shut
but yo, I love the dude enough. If he needed that kind of help, I'd help him.
Well,
That's love right
whoopee,
there.
Here I am again.
Oh man. Oh man. You know what? I'd like to think that of our entire crew. If I may just say that in plain English, the squad that we got, the homies, the real homies, I feel like we would all do that for each other. We would all help in a bookie situation. If we would pool our resources even.
Pool our resources? What? No. That's not about if a bookie came around acting tough, asking people for money. I'm talking about pooling resources. Yeah, that's a vicious kill right
Oh
there.
my god.
Yeah, that's real mean.
Did you hook his
Yeah,
nuts?
yeah, I hooked his nuts. Yeah, it's a real mean one. It's
Damn.
one of the meaner kills in the game.
Dude, if somebody was coming for your legs, I'd help out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's whatever at that point.
I mean, come on.
So watch, I go over here. I told you, get that hobo to the gate. So I gotta bring him over in order to be buzzed through to the next location.
Wow.
One thing that's good is he'll wait
Come
pretty
here.
patiently.
Right, so you can just put him in a
Because
corner.
he's all drunk and fucked up.
Need any
So
help.
you tell him, yo, go stand in the fucking shadows and he'll do it.
Running in the shadows, then running light.
the Fleetwood Macs?
Hell yeah. But if you don't love me now. I love that fucking tune. Oh my god. You know what? That album is in my elite class. If I was making a list of my favorite albums of all time, Rumors by Fleetwood Mac is on there. Absolutely. The greatest breakup record ever written.
You don't move.
See, I'm not big on romance and
But
emotions.
no, but you gotta understand that.
Because to me, emotions are always like...
It's the most gangster
They
situation.
fuck me up more than they help me.
No, but it's the most gangster situation. You know the situation behind that album?
I don't know, man. I think there's probably more gangster situations than anybody of Fleetwood Mac has ever been in.
All right, which,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna explain it to you.
Go ahead.
When I explain it to you, you're gonna be like, "Damn, that's some real." All right, so we're talking about
We're
talking about something that I am considering literally the greatest breakup album of all time. So that's the subject matter, right? The front cover got the girl in the dancer outfit looking all
Yes.
beautiful,
I've seen this.
and the
yes.
dude in the dancer outfit, literally with the dangling balls. You know,
He spotted me.
right? So here's what's going on in the situation of the band Fleetwood Mac when they make this album.
Yeah, they're all fucking each other, right?
There's two sets of people fucking each other, right? In the band. Right? So you got that. Two sets of people fucking each other. Both of those combinations break up. And two of them that was fucking the other two start fucking each other.
See, I don't fuck with motherfuckers like that, man. Like, honestly, my whole life, when I would date women outside my friend circle. I really don't understand the whole fucking within the friends group thing.
But listen to where I'm going with this. So not only does that happen, but they end up stay together as a band. They make this album during all of that chaos.
Yeah.
Like this album is raw as a motherfucker. There's people working on each other's songs and who they want to murder in cold blood at the time. You know what I mean? Like, they're working on each other's music. They can't stand the sight of each other. One of the motherfuckers wants to kill himself because he done lost his girl. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them is so heartbroken he don't know how to live. You hear him talk about it till this day. He still looks like he hasn't gotten over it. Not only do they find a way to keep it together and make this album, they stay a band.
And that's ridiculous.
Like it's some of the most hardcore shit ever, you know. But we're speaking in the realms of like feelings and emotions. But in the realms of feelings and emotions, this is a hardcore record.
I hear you on that.
It's brutal. It's a brutal album.
Right here.
It's a brutal album because they're all working out their shit on each other and making the art together. So the playing has an edge, and the singing has an edge, and the songwriting has an edge.
Like it was difficult to do.
Yeah, and so it becomes this thing. When you're in heartbreak, if you put this album on, it is like healing medicine. Like it brings emotions out of you that you don't even know you have because it's so raw. It's really an incredible album. And again, it's Fleetwood Mac. It's not like it's even aggressive music, but there's
No, it's not at all.
There's
it's like
truth in
melodic and pretty a lot of the time.
right. But there's this truth and this,
And the vocal harmonies are all really like angelic.
but yet the content of this album has so much piss in it.
Yeah.
There's so much piss. Like it's a angry, bitter record. It's really beautiful. I'm like not.
I mean, bitterness doesn't need to be expressed in anger all the time.
No, yeah, exactly.
And like resentment doesn't even either.
And that's why I'm saying, like, I literally would put this on my list of favorite albums of all time because it's so effective in what it's putting across. Now, it took, like, real life calamity to pull this out of them, and I don't think anything else in their catalog stacks up to this level. Like, it's...
No.
It's
and
it's
a lot of
special
artists
album.
do something special that they never do again. I would say, this is kind of, like, random and off the fucking... It's all from space, but I would say, I would accuse the Pixies of capturing something really amazing on the Surf and Rosa album, and then not on their other albums.
You would put them in that class. I mean,
Because honestly, like, and it's not even like, I'm not saying that their other stuff isn't good. What I'm saying is they did something special.
right.
that
Well,
they were
that's-
never able to fuck with again.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, unfortunately, I'm not well versed enough in their whole catalog to have that conversation thoroughly. I really
But you
only
know the Surfer Rosa.
I really
album,
only
don't you?
know Surfer Rosa and Doolittle. Those are the albums that I
And those two are the good ones.
Yeah.
Surfer Rosa's better than Doolittle in my opinion.
Flesh reeks of corruption.
But like that's as far as it gets for me. Like there are people who are big fans of them, but
Yeah, well,
to me it's like
Stasio was a huge fan.
they don't.
I got to put more time into their catalog. I've been
All
meaning
right.
to actually.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like because
Well,
they're so influential and
To
so.
me, they lose
And
something.
I've never really heard a song by them I didn't like, so I want to
Yeah.
put more time into their catalog and like get to know them a little better.
Surfer Rosa's really good. Doolittle's good, but Doolittle's not good in the same way. Surfer Rosa is one of my
Make a sound,
favorite
I'll
rock
kill myself.
albums, like ever.
Right, so it hits you.
And they cover.
So what would you
yeah,
s-
because I was
what would you-
introduced
what
to
would
it
you
at a
say-
time when I was working on music, and it had a big effect on me to hear that.
Right.
It was almost like
That's me and
when I
Ruby
heard the
Broom.
vocals on like Bone Machine, it was kind of like, oh, so you can do whatever you want.
Oh, dude, that's exactly the way I describe Ruby Room, the Soul Coughing album.
Yeah.
That album did exactly the same thing.
All
for
right,
me.
cool. So
Just-
I could do whatever then.
Yeah, just boom. Yeah, just like took the doors
I have
off
no
it.
limits.
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
good. Yeah.
It's-
and to realize that is a beautiful thing.
I think you get about 10 of those albums in your life that come across and just kind of like
It-
reinterpret
and it depends
your
on
whole.
your age and when it hits
Yeah.
you. So
Right, it's not a feeling you can
A high
cultivate.
school
You can't cultivate it.
music
It has to
teacher.
land that way, you know. Like I remember.
gave me the Surfer Rose album. High school music teacher was like, yo, like, I don't know why, man, but you kind of make me think of this, and, like, this is just good shit you and the guys should listen to. And I got into it, the rest of the band didn't really.
Fucking Discover card ad eat my balls. What? But what did you miss? It's all about when the ad pops up, homie.
Skull card ad.
Oh, I'm reading the chat.
Yeah, I see that.
Gotta remember to look at the chat. I forget.
I glance at it here and there.
Especially when the
but nothing
conversation's good,
Nothing
right?
was happening for a while till Steve
Popped up
comes in.
twice in a row.
Eat my balls.
Twice. We were just going in on some shit, man. You know, same as always.
So I'm learning this.
That's
chump
awesome.
over.
That's awesome that teacher would do that for you, though. because
Yeah.
That's
Well, he
formative
knew about
shit,
our
man.
band and shit. He was a cool dude. He was
on
into
and
music
He didn't
himself.
see you. That's whack.
Yeah, that's kind of whack. You shouldn't have walked through there. Oh man, there's 3 of them. They're not good.
Reset.
I got a
Reset.
Barry Sanders this thing.
One shoe, baby.
They ain't gonna catch me. I'm Barry Sanders. Ooh, an axe. I like that weapon. Give me that.
Ooh, the hook. Here come the hook.
Why don't you just
Steve, you
come
missed
on
the
out?
full reading of the lyrics to Mark Henry's entrance theme.
Coming to grind your soul to dust.
Ah, there he is. So there are a few kills that are really cool with the axe, with the hand axe. But this one's my favorite and it's the simplest one.
Oh
Watch.
shit, that ain't enough.
Simplest one and it's the best one. Watch. Hey, buddy. Oh, man.
Oh, come on!
That's bullshit. How do you turn around
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
that was whack. That was whack.
That was whack.
Nah, take his soul. Take his soul. Reset and take his soul,
Nah,
man.
it's all good. I got it.
I know quite well. Quite well. Well, I thought a full reading was fitting for this game. I figured like this is the right time to really delve deep into those lyrics.
Yeah, it was a good time.
My man has got speed. He's on you.
Yeah. These guys are kind of fast, yeah.
Your crew
Oh,
run,
he doesn't
run, run.
as
Your
much.
crew run, run.
There we go. I got him here. He ain't gonna fuck with me any further.
Lost him. Lost him. We lost him.
Now, I
got
want
an
to
old
show you
shit
because
in
it's
your
such a good way to
pants
kill
telling me
somebody,
you're here
and
somewhere.
it's kind of funny. So when I isolate one of these chumps, I'm gonna show you. Watch, right here. Watch.
Okay, hold on, we gotta see the kill first. Steve, I'm gonna respond to that comment.
Because this is
Just
the
one second.
funniest one to me.
No, they did not.
I'm
No.
impatient right now. That's the problem.
Yeah. You're not in your mode. You're not in your mode.
Fucking
You're not being the killer you were brought in to be. Time
Yeah,
to make
but, like-
time to make the adjustment, Tom.
Yo, put yourself in his shoes and picture how hard this must be.
I can see right through it.
Yeah, that was bad. All right. We're gonna reset
No
this
man,
part.
no
yeah.
man. Tom, you're one of the biggest legend stars. I can't hear this. I can't hear you making concessions. I want to hear that it's time to take next. Beat him up,
following me.
break his neck. We established.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's fine. That's what's gonna happen.
We established the goings on.
It's gonna happen.
All right. What about we can't do a dramatic reading of Ass Man or put a little ass on it because because we can't have romance. This is not a romantic situation.
No, this is really brutal. This is not romantic.
But we can absolutely get a Rikishi
But, you know,
gif up in this mix.
Yeah,
that
put a
we can.
Rikishi like
That we can
stink
do.
face.
That we can do. We can we can get that up in this mix. That.
Maybe instead of this guy coming at me like the last
Come to
time. I could
Carcer,
throw-
they said. No one meant do yourself a favor. Come out.
Let's see. Let's get a
Get it
nice,
over with.
nice chunky stink face. What we got here?
Man, this is spooky. I'm spooked, man.
Perfect.
This kill, look. Oh no, not that one. My bad. I'm gonna get the axe and then I'll show you. Watch. So with the axe, it's gonna be cool. I should have done that.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one right there.
Oh,
It's
oof.
it's about the
That's hard to watch.
It's about the anticipation.
It's hard to watch because it's like too big and bodacious a butt for a man to have. And that makes me uncomfortable.
He mocks our flesh.
Like a baby, like a baby. Are you familiar with Rikishi's R&B hit? Put a little ass on it.
What?
His his R&B masterpiece.
No, I'm not familiar.
Oh my God. Well, we'll do it. We'll do
So
it.
look, watch. This is the kill I'm talking
I
about.
can smell the.
Excuse me.
Oh!
And that's not even the yellow or the red. That's
Dude, I want that to be the only kill
Isn't that the best?
for the rest
He
of the
taps
game.
him- He taps him on the shoulder and then chops him in the face. That's the best kill.
That's the best
I love
kill.
that one.
There's nothing
That's
better.
my fucking favorite one. He taps a dude on the shoulder.
Homie.
Excuse me, buddy.
Yeah, homie.
Pardon me, sir, but I think you left your bag over here.
All right.
So I'm gonna kill him the same way.
Steve-
Pardon me, but
Steve said, I think you're romancing with the stealth. Maybe if you put a little ass on it, you might stealth a little better.
yo, I'm stealthing all right.
But here we go. Here we go.
Yo.
It's like, here we go. I'm gonna just give you the feel. It's like this. Ready?
All right.
You gotta be here. You gotta be like, You know, it's down here. Right?
All right.
Right? It's like, put a little ass on it. Put a little ass on it.
Oh,
This motherfucker interrupted
ain't nobody
me.
live to hold me down, man.
The flow was about to move, and this
Can't
motherfucker
even
had to
hold me. Nobody can hold me down. All right, I'm gonna do a more vicious kill on this guy because I don't like his flannel shirt or his face.
Look, Daddy
Yo,
gets confused.
Rikishi is just gonna back it up in that corner until the end of the stream. Look at him.
Fucking Rikishi.
Look at him. He's just letting him know.
I can't believe that was a thing, man.
Like a baby.
Like dude
a
straight up wore a
baby.
thong and
can't-
put his ass in people's faces as a
Boys,
move.
be good.
I can't wait to play you the song. It's gonna be the highlight of the post-stream content.
Looks like I'm gonna have to do that quick one with this guy.
Get him.
Excuse me, sir.
Hey,
Pardon
homie.
me.
Oh! that will.
That's my favorite one.
It's the best kill.
Hey, buddy. Bong. Yeah, that's the best one. I love that kill.
Yo, anybody who fucks with Dead by Daylight, Ash Williams is coming out in Dead by Daylight.
What are you talking about? I know Ash Williams
You don't fuck with Dead by Daylight?
because I fucks with the show Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yes, you do, and by extension,
Because have we discussed this show?
I haven't seen the third season. So
Wait, there's a third season?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
watched two.
yeah, there's a third season.
Yo.
I didn't watch season 3 yet. So you're good.
I don't know. Don't worry. I know nothing about season 3. I couldn't even spoil it if I wanted to.
You know, I am a huge fan of those movies. That is.
I'm aware of that,
Yeah.
and I know that I am
this,
too.
The show is
and
bananas good.
the
It's-
show is so fucking good.
It's so good.
It's really good. It's older Ash.
Mm-hmm.
He's a complete asshole. It's fucking perfect.
As always.
He's really brilliant. Like he just
Mm-hmm.
like he lives that way. Like that's who he is. He's just continuing to be Ash, and it's phenomenal. I gotta find the old drunk guy again. He's back here. But yeah, it's oh man. And you know what's good about the show too? Is that it has a combination of camp plus legitimate horror scenes.
Yep.
There are scenes where
Yep.
people are moving into a dark house and they got flashlights and shit comes out and blah blah blah. It has like characteristic historic horror with Evil Dead shit with it being a show and like new cool
Yes,
characters.
it's very true to Sam Raimi's vision.
Pablo's real cool.
I love Pablo.
Love Pablo.
Absolutely.
And I'm forgetting the girl's name.
I know.
but
I
she's
feel bad.
Brilliant
She's
as
great.
well.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad that I'm.
I don't know why I'm
her name.
forgetting her name.
She's wonderful. Yeah.
But she's a hard motherfucker in the show.
It's great. It's a great show. I love it. I love it.
And it's funny how Pablo's like in love with her, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God, though. From minute one.
I kind of get it.
Yeah, of course. We all been there.
Well, she's a badass. She's pretty fucking cool. Where'd this guy go? He's not following me anymore. It's a fucking idiot. Where'd he go?
But yeah. So you haven't played Dead by Daylight, I'm assuming.
No.
Dead by Daylight is a horror game where you are tasked with surviving a stalking serial killer. It's an online multiplayer. 4 people play as survivors. 1 person plays as the killer.
This sounds kind of like the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah, similar but different.
Okay.
Like similar in that it's the same setup, right? Like, but
it happens.
But it plays very differently.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Friday the 13th is very much slow and methodical, and is about planning and your escape and coordinating and working together.
Oh.
Whereas Dead by Daylight is a lot more skill focused and being good at the game. In Dead by Daylight, the killer plays in first person and the players play in third person. So if you're playing as the killer, you're in first person, Left 4 Dead style, kind of, you know, where you're like stalking the map. Like if you ever played as the infected in Left 4 Dead, it's kind of like
I have. To be honest, I don't love it.
A lot of people don't. I always loved it. But yeah,
I know you did always like it, but
big fan of it. But
not a huge fan.
But it's funny because in both of these games, I don't play as the killer. I prefer to play as a survivor.
Yeah.
Even in Friday the 13th, I never want to play as Jason. I like playing as the counselor. I like outfoxing the killer more than I like being the killer.
Yeah. Well, I was like that about like playing. Well, we're playing the video game Manhunt. We're playing the game Manhunt as a child. I always preferred to be on the team that was hiding rather than the team that was hunting.
Stream that with Tom next. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. Maybe we'll do a Dead by Daylight stream. I'll show you what it's about later.
Yeah.
Like, once we're done. It's a really cool game.
I feel like I should know about it. Yeah.
And yeah. So they have licensed killers in the game. Like you have your Michael Myers is there, Freddy Krueger is there, Leatherface is there. But they also have original. Yeah. But they also have original characters which are very interesting also. And then they have some original survivor.
Leatherface must be good.
Yeah, and they all have different skills and different weapons and abilities. And then
you said Pinhead, right? From
no, Pinhead's not in it.
Why did I imagine you said that?
No, I said there's Leatherface.
I pictured you saying
Michael Myers.
Saying the guy from Hellraiser.
I wish he was. I love Pinhead.
And I would say then he'd have to have some sort of supernatural kind of shit going
like
on,
Freddy does.
Where
Freddy
like
has to put you to
disappear
sleep.
one place and appear in another
They have
place.
they have an original character who does illusions. It's really interesting. They have the chick from Saw. The I don't know if you're into Saw. Like you know Amanda.
Was she from 2?
Yeah, the pig mask.
Like the hot one.
She was
right?
she was the survivor of the first one, and then she.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so she's in it.
Right, yeah.
And she's very stealthy.
And then toward the end, she's sort of doing his bidding. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I was being careful. I didn't want to say too much in case I was like, I didn't want to give it away.
Whatever, yo. That
cool
movie's
character.
been out for fucking 10 years already. Motherfuckers didn't see it yet. That's their problem.
I like that franchise. It dips. it dips up and down in quality really badly. Like some are great and some are terrible. But there's some cool shit in that series. There's a bad luck, like a bad vibe in the Saw franchise in that the bad movies, the ones that aren't that great, also took a hatchet to the overall storyline.
I mean, I don't think it's that great of a storyline. I think the movies are good.
But if you watch the good ones, if you watch only the good ones,
1 and 2,
1 and 2, and I think I want to say it's 5.
Yeah,
1, 2, and
5 is
5.
good?
Yeah,
Okay.
are like I can't remember if it's 4 or 5, but I think
1
it's
and 2 I would fully vouch for.
yeah. I think
Both.
I just can't remember if it's 4 or 5 like right now off the top of my head. But there's like 1, 2, and 5 that like are just like surprisingly good movies, and you know within the context of slasher flicks.
Of course, yeah.
But then the rest just eat away at the plot. Like 3 is awful, and they just like. So by the end, you can't really watch it and be like,
Yo,
yeah,
we should
this is.
marathon that shit
I am
one day, man, because
so
we
down.
marathoned Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and that was a resounding success.
I mean,
everything about that
The
was
time
good.
is up for
Well,
you, amigo.
Sometimes you gotta like.
Pardon me, sir.
Sometimes you gotta put motherfuckers up on art, and the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is art. So like,
Very true. Yeah.
anybody who's got something to say, fuck off. You're an elitist snob.
No, it's well thought out. It's
Yeah.
creative. It's interesting.
For real, you're
yeah.
an elitist snob, and you're.
And no, not
you know,
all of the
fuck
movies
off.
are good. Too.
They're not. No, they're not.
No,
all,
they're not all good.
They're not all good. But
To
even,
pretend they're all good is
but
bullshit.
here's the thing: even the ones that aren't like actually great
They
films
contribute something.
are usually they're all visually distinct.
I'd say 4 is forgettable.
I love 4 though.
It's good,
I love 4.
but it's one of the more forgettable ones.
Visually though,
1
it's
is
gorgeous.
amazing.
One is incredible.
strictly because Johnny Depp's in it.
Nice.
2
Gets full credit.
2 is good because it's the homoerotic one.
Yeah, right. It's a
It's the
time.
most homoerotic horror movie I've
Ever
ever
made.
seen in my life. I mean, honestly, there's a scene where he goes to a gay bar.
Yeah, no,
There's a scene where
it's not
where they
subtext.
show the coach's bare ass and he gets whipped with towels.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely gay, but still a good horror movie. Yeah, actually, I'm being wrong here. It's not a good horror movie despite the gayness.
Right.
It's a good horror movie
Yes.
because of the gayness.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you get to 3 and you got Larry Fishburne and Patricia
Yeah.
Arquette and you
Masterpiece.
got the band Dokken playing the fucking song, Dream Warriors Ain't Gonna Dream No More, that's when you got yourself a fucking franchise. 4, I think, was a quiet one, and then 5 was a new nightmare, which was
Stay
great.
here, out of trouble.
But I think 4 was a little bit
Wait,
quiet.
no.
Because there had to be quiet ones.
Wait, no.
Am I wrong?
You're wrong on that.
5 ain't a new nightmare?
No, 5 is the Dream Child. That's the one with all the MC Escher imagery.
I thought that was 4.
No, 4.
The girl's a hero in 4.
4 is Dream Warriors, where she's absorbing the powers and the girl turns into the cockroach.
3.
3.
I thought 3
No,
was Dream
sorry.
Warriors. 3 is Dream Warriors, and I
Yes.
remember Dream
Sorry,
Warriors because
I misspoke. 3 is Dream Warriors.
Alright.
4 is Dream Master. Where okay,
Yeah.
in 3 it's in the asylum.
yes,
In 4 she's absorbing the powers and the girl turns
Yes.
into the cockroach.
right.
In 5 Freddy's coming to the dreams of her baby.
Oh, and then there's a new nightmare after
No,
that.
and then there's Freddy's Dead, which is 6, which while is a ridiculous
Freddy's
film.
Dead came after.
And then the 7th is New Nightmare, which is one of the greatest horror films ever
A
made.
New Nightmare is good. I don't agree with you on that, but A New Nightmare is damn good.
Dude, I think that movie is so far ahead of its time, it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, you're right. For the time.
I'm
It's
sick of this
so
constant
it's
running.
Right. I'm not saying
For
like
the time, yeah.
right, I'm not saying like the effects hold up
in
or
turn, in like
or even
horror
the-
movie context for then,
blew
yeah,
the lid off
you're
of what
right.
was possible, man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it broke down that fourth wall in a way that you don't get Scream without New Nightmare. You know what I mean?
I don't love Scream, man. Big horror movie
First one,
head.
first one.
Yo, I don't love it, man.
Oh, I gotta
I'm not,
disagree, man. The sequels are all trash, but that first one,
and I'm a huge horror movie head. Big time. Love them.
I
My
don't
favorite
know.
genre of film.
listen, we always allowed to disagree,
And-
but I will take. I
don't
will,
know, man.
I will take the opposite stance on
Well,
Scream, and I know.
Maybe you can explain, because I don't get it.
With even the caveat that I'm a huge Wes Craven fan. I think the guy's a fucking genius.
Well,
so like
that's fair and good, but, like,
I'll even
I
throw
don't-
that in there. Like
I don't get
I am
Scream.
biased. I love Wes.
Maybe it's too mainstream for me. I don't know
But
what
it's a
it is.
deconstruction of horror films. That's what makes it incredible. The beats are given to you from the opening shot
But
of
it's
the movie.
done in a very heavy-handed way.
but
It can be done in a more interesting way. Like, for example, what were we talking about before that was a shot at horror movies? I mean, I don't know. Even
Yo,
Ash vs. Evil
shorts
Dead's
riding
picked
right
up
up
but
my
all right, but you're
crack.
also all right. You're talking about you putting 20 years on top of when Scream came out.
But even still, what I'm saying is Scream's heavy-handed about it. And Matthew Lillard's a little annoying.
the real truth is coming out.
It ain't all that. It ain't all that. I don't love the movie.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
No, you listen. You don't.
Candyman's good. No, with you 100%. Yo, Candyman's legit.
Candyman for
100%.
Candyman for me is all time
Phenomenal.
top. All
1
time
and 2, I vouch for 100%.
for me. Candyman is all time top 10 in horror films.
Very good.
I think it's
The story's good.
and it's actually
it's-
disturbing. Like
Tony Todd You couldn't have gotten a better guy.
And I mean,
Tony Todd's fucking great.
I do have to admit though that Virginia Madsen is one of my all-time hotnesses. God, I would give anything. Just give me one night with that woman. you can have one testicle. Give me one night, you can take one testicle.
Wow.
She's that hot, man. God, she's hot.
But I'll tell you, man, the Candyman movies are fucking solid.
It's not put up there with the biggest legend stars, but hey,
It's not, but for us it is.
but he's in Terrordrome. The fucking
Tony Todd?
the fan made slasher fighting game.
Oh.
Come here.
I don't.
We gotta play that
Yo,
shit.
I'm not up on things, brother.
I got you.
Right.
Homie, I got you. He's in there because he deserves to be in there. Pumpkinhead's in there too. Fuck that motherfucker, sleep.
You know, yeah, you like Pumpkin. I didn't watch all of Pumpkinhead.
The first one?
And not out of like I got disgusted and stopped watching. I just didn't see it. Really.
The first one, if you're not in the right mood, it can be real boring.
It's
slow.
It's kind of fantastical. Like.
Well, you might be thinking of 2. 2 is really fantastical.
But 1, my understanding is that like a farmer's son died, and he summoned a demon to seek revenge on the motherfuckers who killed his son.
Pretty much, yeah. You got it. You're on it.
Which is good. That's a great premise. Revenge is always a good premise for anything.
Sure. Well,
Like really, you have a lot to go off. There's good emotion there.
Yeah, and it has good pacing and really interesting visuals. Again, see, I look at horror movies as a complete package.
Yeah.
Because to me, the visuals, like a lot of times in horror movies, the stories may not be the most hype shit you ever heard. It's usually pretty generic, but the creativity in the visuals, especially when you consider that like most of these movies were made physically, like you know what I mean. They didn't have like digital shortcuts and CG. Like a lot of this stuff was practical. All of it, really, all the great shit was made practically with like ingenuity and creativity in the physicality of these movies. So I always look at it from that angle. The monster in Pumpkinhead is awesome. Like he's so cool. You know, like
the long fingers.
Yeah, the like it's like man, you know, like really cool. And then they went over the top in 2. But I like 2 a lot also, but it's just this very, you know, a little more campy.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Pumpkinhead movies, but they're well known, and I know that they're like
Lep in the Hood or Lep in
kind of a
Space. Oh
staple
my
there.
God, that's an argument for the ages. Lep in the Hood, I guess. Yeah. We were being real about it. You know, Lep's one of those guys. There's never really actually been a great Leprechaun movie, and yet we all have seen at least 3 of them.
You know why? Because he's an interesting bad guy.
Yeah, he really is.
Because we don't think of leprechauns that way. And somebody decided that leprechauns would be cool if they're fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, it's a quick,
nasty motherfuckers.
You know what? But it's a succinct premise.
Which makes sense.
Right? Yeah, it's like boom, get in and work. Like no faffing about on that one.
Yeah.
And
this whole
have you seen
this whole that there's gold associated with them?
Yeah.
And then you forget the fact that like,
gold.
so it's real easy to make a character that's like, yo, you have my gold, I want my gold.
Okay, Chucky, but let's
agreed.
But let's talk about Chucky because there's a major difference. There's a major difference. All the Chucky movies are written by the same dude, and the fucking canon is rock solid.
Also, Charles Lee Ray is Charles Lee Ray the whole fucking time. Same fucking Charles Lee Ray.
Chucky is
beautiful,
underrated for
wonderful.
how consistent it is in itself. He changed the genre and style of the films and still kept the narrative completely consistent.
And I love the different context.
Chucky is the Rocky of horror franchises.
Part 3 in the military school? The fuck out of here, man. Yo. When that dude jumps on the grenade? Yo.
Dude.
Love that.
Like,
dude jumps on the grenade. The dorky motherfucker with the glasses saved everybody.
Yeah, he did. Absolutely.
Bravery. That dude was a true soldier. More so than the rest. But yo, 2 is amazing. The Child's Play movies are very good. Even some of the more recent ones, like there was this really weird gothic one.
Dude, all of them.
Very good.
That series is.
That one's really good.
That series is great. The most recent 2 both went straight to Netflix. They were made for Netflix, and they're both fantastic.
Boys.
They got Brad Dourif, the actor who plays Chucky. They got his daughter to be the star.
Huh.
And she's.
And that's
brilliant.
nice. Yeah.
She's brilliant. Like. I think that series is really slept on because it goes into camp and gets really silly, but the internal consistency of the world of those movies is really awesome. It's like Rocky. I think the Rocky movies are really slept on for that too.
Stay close.
Solid, yeah.
The writing makes sense. You saw Balboa, right? The one that they made like before these two Creed movies,
Yeah.
where he was old.
Yeah.
You know that pseudo love interest
Actually,
woman.
you know what? I didn't. I'm lying. I saw the Creed.
Right, but you didn't see Balboa.
I didn't see Balboa.
Balboa is awesome. The pseudo love interest in that movie, like, because in the movie, like, it's not really a spoiler. It's you find out right away. Adrian passes away, right? So like, she's not in the movie. She didn't do the movie, so it's known that she wasn't in it. So Rocky doesn't have his woman in this one. He's older. You know what I'm saying? It's like the pseudo love interest, the character that is the female to go with him, is the grown-up representation of the little girl he tells in Rocky 1 to stay away from the boys on the corner.
Following me.
Whoa.
It's the same character.
Really?
Grown up, yeah. And like, if you don't know Rocky movies, you don't know that.
In the first one, he's doing gangster shit.
If you're not
He's
paying
a
attention, it's like they don't
He's the local
give it to
mafia
you.
dude's tough guy.
Yeah. And remember, he takes that time to talk to the little girl and like tell her like, "Hey, come on, don't fuck around with these dudes." Yeah. That
Basically,
character,
is how he said it.
that character plays a major role in Balboa, and it's one of those things where because he wrote all those movies, there's an internal consistency to the world of those movies that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like the quality of the films is up and down, whatever. But like, you know, in terms of like being serious dramas or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the world, you believe the world.
I mean, the old 80s ones have a silliness
And I love
only in that they're dated.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it is. The silliness comes from the fact that, like, yo, this is Cold
Chucky
War
is
era.
just-
It's
Chucky
mad
is just-
funny.
Chucky is just dull Freddy. That's really funny. Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Nah, because
But-
Chucky's in the physical world.
Yeah, right. There's a difference. Yeah, no, but I see. He says they're great movies, but they aren't. The premise isn't deep. It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't have to be. Right? It doesn't have to be deep. What was I gonna say? Yeah, man. But like, that's why I feel the Chucky movies are underrated because they have that same internal consistency that I think a lot of people don't even bother with that shit. You know, when they make franchise movies,
Yo, I
they
might have just took all these motherfuckers out just now.
they had it
I
coming.
think I did just that. Fucked everybody up. I don't know if there's anybody left to fuck up in here. I might have to grab my hobo friend and keep moving.
Damn, you got me open. We started talking about horror movies, and now I'm like, you know, my brain just gets going like, brr, you know, man.
They're the best,
That
man.
fucking genre is,
Yo.
it's been good to me my whole life, man.
When they're good, they're good.
Yeah, man. Well, and you know, it's funny because I'm always willing to go
Follow
back
me.
and reevaluate. Like, I was never a huge Friday the 13th guy growing up.
Yeah, I'm still not, to be honest. It's okay, it's good.
In the last few years, I've turned around a lot on those movies. They are played very straight, but
I watched the first one recently.
it holds up. The second one's way better.
Yeah. 'Cause
This-
you bring about Freddy, you bring about Jason in that one.
Well, but not even more
Except in the first movie, Jason comes out of the water. And
Yeah, the twist.
Not a lot of style points in that one, not like before. But it was all right. We got through it.
The main girl in 2 is really, really strong. She's one of the early examples of like a really good lead in terms of like her presence and the way she stands up to what's going on and like takes charge of the situation. It was very atypical at the time, and she had a very understated confidence to her. The character, and, like, really cool character in that second one.
This
yeah.
is a good stage, man.
But going back, I'm appreciating
Another gun level.
I'm appreciating those movies more now for their willingness to play it straight. You know what I mean? Whereas, because I always saw them as kind of lowbrow when I was growing up. I liked the shit that was more thoughtful. I liked the Nightmare on Elm Streets because of the dreamscapes and because they were like putting more wrinkles into
Well,
it.
I'll tell you this. In Nightmare on Elm Street 3, one of the best things that ever happened in any film ever is there's a girl who's trying to not sleep, so she's watching TV.
Oh my god, it's one of
And
the legendary scenes.
The
eh?
TV turns into Freddy, basically, and arms come out and they grab her. And before he shoves her face into the TV screen and smashes her head into the TV, he says, "Welcome to primetime, bitch." Phenomenal.
That line,
When I watched it the
That
first time,
line-
I stood and applauded.
that line, improvised.
Amazing.
That is an improvised
Oh,
line.
I don't doubt it. Phenomenal.
Fucking unbelievable.
Welcome to primetime, bitch. And then shoves her head into the phenomenal. One of the best things I ever seen in a film.
Dude, and a
I
beautiful.
stood and applauded.
Dude, and if you want,
Nobody's even there.
and if you want to take it like even to subtext and be deep about like the art of the film, how crazy is that as a parallel to when he gets Taryn in the alley and hits her with the needles?
Didn't think this would
It's
be
the
so
same kill. You know what I mean? But it's
Kind of.
But it's one drowning in her addiction, the TV and the want to be a celebrity, and the other one resisting it with all of her might. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what
I
I'm saying
can
about
play
that? It's one character who's completely losing to her addictions, which is the celebrity and the TV and the wanting to be a star, and then this other one who is fighting against it with all of her might.
Yep.
And they both
that's
got
Patricia
this.
Arquette's death, right?
No, it's the girl, the brunette girl. I don't know the actress's name.
Oh no, she
Taryn.
doesn't die.
She
right,
makes
right.
it. She makes it to
Who
the
is
end.
it that gets the marionette puppet death?
Philip.
Oh right, yeah.
Philip.
You know
He's
what I'm
great.
talking
I
about?
wish he was in
He's
more
up
of
in
the
the bell
movie.
tower and he's using like
I don't know why that
tendons or
Yeah.
something as like
Dude,
marionette.
I don't
strings.
understand why that kid didn't become an actor. He was great. He was like, why is he not more of a known name? I don't understand. He was so believable in
I
that
mean, he was
movie.
a kid at the time.
Fuck, man. Like, I'm surprised that that dude didn't go on to have a
that's you,
career.
buddy. Huh?
He is so
Well,
convincing.
screw you.
I wish it was a bigger part. I wish he was around for more of the movie. You know? He's so convincing in those few scenes. But I guess if you think about it, who makes it to the end? It's like Kincaid, the legend. yeah. And Joey, the mute, and fucking and Christy, right? Fucking Patricia Arquette, who of course.
Crush this. That you want it.
That's the thing, man, in this game. It's like you fuck up, you end up cornered, and that's it.
Take a piss.
Yeah, those are good movies, though.
Yeah, I like them all. Like, obviously, I have a rank and an order in my mind. They all have shit I like in them, you know?
It's not long now, my friend. Not long at all. Nada. It was a whispering wind. You're
Taking his head.
quivering.
Taking his head.
Sense of right and wrong.
I ain't. God, I thought I got a store around here someplace. I know you're here. Maldito! Help me!
Cause I'm coming over your way.
¿Qué pasó? Where'd he go? Stay right where you are.
Of the franchises
So,
that
Diablo!
not even franchises, of the movies that are considered like legendary. What's the one that just doesn't hit you at all? Because, like, I was thinking about it as I was walking in the kitchen. For me, it's fucking Phantasm. It's always listed.
Haven't watched it.
It's always listed as one of the best horror movies of all time.
We covered mine. Mine's Scream.
Scream.
I don't get
Scream,
it.
Scream, yeah,
Doesn't sit with me.
Doesn't hit you. You know what? It's funny because I was trying to like get to where we got off on so many tangents. I didn't come back to defending it. I was trying to like formulate my, I don't want to say argument, but I was formulate on why I think it's brilliant, and then I realized like. No, I totally see why knowing you the way I do and like knowing you as a dude.
What my distaste
I can totally see why you don't like that movie. Actually, it makes perfect sense to me that you don't like that movie.
It'd be weird if I did.
Yeah, actually, right. It would, because it's too pithy for like. I get that.
Yes, it's not my.
But that's on purpose.
Right.
Is my point. Like, okay, well.
Yeah. No, I get that that's purposeful.
That it's purposeful,
But
right?
I think it's not needed because I think it could be done with a lighter hand,
Well,
and
okay.
the audience has to do more of the work.
Have you seen Behind the Mask?
Yes, I have. That's very good. That's
Okay,
different.
that movie is on my all-time great. I show it to everyone who hasn't seen it. Right, I'm like, you have to see this movie. It's one of the most brilliant deconstructions of horror ever. And I love mockumentaries, and it's a great mockumentary. Like it's just good on so many levels. Again, that movie, Scream, was the prototype for a movie like that.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because before Scream, no one was pulling the cord of the genre like that, and by extension, New Nightmare, both Wes Craven films. It was something that he was.
Again, I really hate this whole thing because Cervantes did it in 16 whatever. Like the breaking the fourth wall thing. It's just not new shit.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying, it's okay. Yes, you're right. It's never new. It's never anything.
Honestly,
anything you
it needs to be done delicately.
Anything you find as a cultural touchstone like that, it's never new. You can always go back and find the time when it was done before. You're 100% on that. But in terms of the slasher flick, it was new. No one had done it. You know what I mean? Like just like Halloween kind of invented the slasher flick, and then Friday the 13th literally just copied it and made another one, and now you have a genre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and
like,
you could also look at it too, like how many movies are like Texas Chainsaw Massacre? A ton.
right, but they're not ever.
A ton of them are just like it.
But
House of a Thousand Corpses is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
oh my god, it's a love letter. It's a fucking love letter. Which I know, and I love Rob Zombie as a director.
I do too,
I think he's
yeah.
incredible. I think he's so underrated.
And I think he did a great job with Devil's Rejects.
Beautiful movie. The third one's
Because
coming.
that's a movie that really gets you cheering for the bad guys.
Homie, let's go. It's coming. You know the third one's coming.
I didn't know.
Oh, it's like coming out this year.
All right.
Let's go, man. Let's go see that in theater. Because I gotta go with someone who's gonna appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because again, the big thing with Devil's Rejects is you want the bad guys to win, and they're doing horrible things the whole time. But you want them to win because you like them, they're charismatic.
Have you guys seen the last broadcast? No. What is the last broadcast?
Look at already.
But I was gonna say about while he tells us what the last broadcast is, I wanted to stay on the point. So Scream, right? You feel like it's heavy-handed, right, and like not subtle.
And celebrity and like just. I don't know.
I get it. I get it.
There's a lot of social status kind of things going on in it that don't sit well with me because I am entirely against society.
Right.
No, I'm against the ways in which we celebrate certain people as being above others.
Well, here's the thing.
And
So then
they acknowledge that hierarchy in a way that's annoying.
So
to me.
so that explains why the movie would then fail, because then you should have been able to grab onto the killers, but you didn't.
No, because of all that. I was
right.
distracted by the flash and the bullshit.
So in that way, the movie did fail for you because
Yeah.
because it didn't. That was what they didn't like. That's the very thing that they didn't like. That's why
But there was none of that in it? What do you mean?
No, why the killers do what they do is because they feel exactly like what you just said. They don't like the status, and they don't like. That's the motivation of the killers in the movie.
Interesting.
So the fact that didn't resonate with you does mean that the movie completely failed for you.
Or that I'm a serial killer.
or it just.
I think I'm just gonna go in the serial killing. Because I think it'll just be easier.
Yeah, no, but that
I might as well just go right.
That literally is the motivation of the killers in that movie. That's why they do what they do.
It's like, fuck these people.
Yeah, fuck these people and their fucking status. Yeah, that's why they do it.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting to me. Like, I would think, but again, I get it. I get why you don't. It's the presentation. The presentation doesn't do it for you. I totally understand it. It's very sleek. It's very MTV friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I
Corny,
understand.
man,
But you
yeah.
gotta see through that to the subtext of the movie. It's there's more.
I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
and that's a better.
Well, and again, I love Wes, so I'm always gonna like.
Yeah.
I always see where he's coming from.
That's a better analysis than I've heard, but.
Fuck that. Watch the people under the stairs instead. That's
you don't gotta tell me that, man.
yeah.
I've seen that.
That's Wes too.
Yo, that kid. He's been in mad
I love that
movies
you
at
know
the
this
time.
shit.
That
I love
kid.
that you know this shit.
I don't know his name or nothing, but he's been in a bunch of movies at the time. Also, Ving Rhames is in People Under the Stairs.
Yeah, I see you. Let me see. Last
If anybody
broadcast.
wants to try to act like Ving Rhames ain't in that shit,
It's,
they can fight me on that.
All right, so last broadcast. It's a documentary found footage style movie, pre Blair Witch. Basically, Blair Witch kind of stole the concept and made it worse. Yeah,
Don't love Blair Witch. Don't love it.
I do love it, but it's hard to defend it now because you had to be in it at the time because it's one of those things that like we've seen so much of that now that it doesn't feel special anymore. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a hard one to go back to. You know?
Well, the internet.
yeah,
that way.
yeah.
Like that's not special. That's not interesting because there's all kinds of shit on the internet that's scaring kids right now.
Yeah, exactly. But at the time, I saw that shit in the theaters day one. It landed pretty smooth. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah, because the ambiguity.
yeah, it's very of its time. But I'll always love Blair Witch because of that. You know, I was there when it happened and I liked it and it was great. And as a horror film, I think it works still. If you just watch it, you know, it's not as special as it was at the time. Obviously, it's been done to death. And here we go. We're finding out right now it's been done before. All right, found footage documentary. Blair Witch kind of stole the concept, made it worse. It was made with a budget of $900 and grossed only $12K, but it's dope and blew my mind at the time. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will definitely check that out. Last podcast. I'll watch that
You
shit.
know, it's a cool horror
I'll watch
movie.
that tonight.
Very, very slow moving, but kind of cool because it's weird and it surprises you a bit. Movie called Session 9. Session
That sounds
9.
familiar. I don't know if I've seen it, but I feel like I
Session
heard the
9
name.
is about these guys who go to, they go to clean out like asbestos in an old, like insane asylum, and weird shit starts happening kind of to each guy. But it connects with like old stuff that happened at the asylum and who these guys are. It's really good, but it's very, very slow moving, and you really don't get any gratification till the end. You're pretty left not satisfied for the most part.
I need both of these again. Give me.
Session 9.
Yeah, I want to watch.
And the reason it's called Session 9 is because of like the footage they find. They find like recorded like interviews, and one of them is called
Should've brought
Session
more
9. And when they
smokes.
listen to it, it's like
I'm literally texting myself to watch both of these movies. That's how I do it. That's the easiest way to remember. I just text myself. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Session 9 is cool, but again, very, very slow.
No, I love. Well, you know that's my kryptonite. I love slow movies, man. I love deliberate pacing.
Faggot!
It's a slow burn, but it's really good. But you don't get any satisfaction toward the end. This whole part, forgot.
How do you feel about The Thing?
Love it.
Like what 80s The
I
Thing?
mean,
Not.
Yo, John Carpenter, like, I like a lot of his movies.
Me too.
I like Assault on Precinct 13.
Me too.
They shoot a little girl in the chest in that movie, for real.
No, let's just be real.
They like shoot her in the chest.
John Carpenter is legend status. That man is a fucking.
So he's written a lot of his movies and then also composed the music to it.
Yep.
Like, all of it is so fucking good. From Halloween to fucking Escape
Which-
from New York.
Which Halloween is still, till this day, still my number one.
All these good
All
movies.
all these movies come and go, and you know, and some of them are fucking masterpieces, and some of them reinvents, and some of them whatever. But when it comes to
He has a few lame movies, but for the most part, they're good.
when it comes to lean and mean and just getting it right, Halloween is still my favorite. I fucking love that movie, man.
I also, particularly with Halloween, I really like Donald Pleasance.
He's a monster. He keeps the series watchable, no
plays-
matter how off the rails it went. Like, just
He
him.
plays Samuel Loomis, and like, he's also in the movie Escape from New York.
Yes, he is.
Plays the president.
Yeah, he does.
Donald Pleasance, really good acting. He's like the Malcolm McDowell of the '80s, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, which again was
Why?
genius.
Yeah.
I love Rob Zombie. He's so underrated.
Really well thought out.
That was such a genius bit of casting. I was. Oh my god. You got me in a great mood with this shit. I'm like,
And Malcolm McDowell's cool as fuck.
El alma negra.
did you see both of his Halloween movies?
I did not see the second one.
I would really like to talk to you about the second one.
Oh well, I have to watch it.
I think it's one of the most. I think it's one of the most underrated horror movies I've ever seen.
Really?
It's considered trash, and I think like I just think people didn't understand what was happening in the movie. The movie is considered like a piece of garbage, and I'm like, except
Because
that-
the original Halloween 2 still a good movie.
oh yeah, brutal, you know, brutal. Written but not directed by Carpenter. He wrote the script.
Oh.
You know, he wrote the original screenplay. Or maybe he did write the script and not the screenplay, but he wrote it, but he didn't direct it. And it's much more brutal. I love the original Halloween 2. I think it's great. I think the ending's a bit of a cop out, but you know, what are you gonna do? Like, I don't think they were planning to go further. That's why. So it's kind of like a.
I don't think they were, you know? Because it was like ambiguous what really happened to Michael Myers, as usual.
No, see, not really. No.
You think it was final?
It's not ambiguous. The beginning of 4 makes it ambiguous. When they retread the scene, they add ambiguity to it. In the actual ending of Halloween 2, that motherfucker is dead. They both explode in that fucking room and they're dead. It's when they go back and revisit it in 4, it puts the seed of doubt in your mind, but it wasn't actually there if you just go watch 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah, no, it was fucking over. They were dead. They exploded. You know? I think it was supposed to be definitive, but the idea was that Halloween with 3 going forward was supposed to be an anthology series.
Oh my goodness.
Where the title would carry, but it would be different stories every time.
Yeah.
That was the idea, but then 3 tanked. Even though now I like that movie. At the time I hated it when I was a kid. But now I watch that and I'm like, actually this is a pretty good horror movie. It just doesn't have Michael Myers in it, and my little kid brain wouldn't accept that, you know? And I was like, this is bullshit. I feel gypped. You know?
I forget how to do a quick turnaround. I have to like actually spin around.
Hey, you did it right there.
Yeah, no, there's like, what is it? It's this. Wait, no, I don't know what it is. There's a way to like spin around really fast.
Busta Rhymes. Can we not talk about Busta Rhymes?
There it is. That's it. This is what I meant to do.
Can we not talk about Busta Rhymes kung fu kicking Michael Myers, please? Can we just not talk about that moment in time? You know what's funny?
Oh right, Matt. Yeah, I remember.
Stasha, when we met, that was a merc.
Yeah.
When we met, Stasha wasn't into slasher flicks at all. Like, she wasn't into it, and I got her into the genre. And when we watched the Halloween franchise, that's like her second favorite. She loves that movie.
It's great. It's really good.
I was like, I set her up with like, this movie's kind of an abortion, and they kind of like really disrespect the Laurie Strode character, and it really sucks. But then we watched it together, and seeing it through her eyes, I was like, oh, I totally get why she liked this, because it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous movie. But I was saying about
Laurie Strode's an interesting character too, because she's boring.
I'm so glad. Did you see the new one? Halloween 2, I guess is what you would call it. The one that came out.
They really need to keep doing that.
Did you see it?
No.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's weird to see it as a sequel to the original, like to retcon everything and just do a sequel to the original feels weird.
Yeah.
Why?
There's already one there.
A good one at that. Yeah, like why would you do that?
Because number 1 ends with him getting shot and falling off the balcony or out the window or something.
Yeah.
And then when they look for the body's gone.
Dude, watch it.
So a great way to end.
Like, here's the thing. It's like I think it's weird to retcon 2. I really do. I don't understand why you would do that. Or an H2O. I fucking love H2O. Why would you retcon that? But
I didn't see H2O. Wait, no, that's the one with Busta Rhymes.
no, that's Resurrection. H2O is when Jamie Lee comes back
Yeah.
with Josh Hartnett and.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie. I like the movie a lot. To me, that movie, the ending of that movie was the perfect ending for the series. You saw it?
Nothing. What else
You
did
remember
I
it?
expect,
I may
huh?
have, but I
There's
definitely
something
don't
not right
remember.
about all this.
It literally ends with Laurie Strode Jamie Lee Curtis chopping off Michael Myers' head. It's awesome. It's a great ending. Like totally empowered, definitive ending to the series. For me, there never needed to be any more. So anything past that is like whatever. So they did Resurrection after that, and that obviously is divisive.
It's a dumb movie, but probably an enjoyable one.
And then they did, but this new one, it's weird that it retcons everything. That's a little strange.
Yeah.
But
it acts as if like those other
nothing exists
like,
besides
yeah.
the first one. But it's Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's fucking good. It's really good. So,
I mean, to me, honestly, she doesn't make those movies, to be honest. I think.
I got it.
Oh, yeah, that's him, all
Now
right.
just watch him die.
Playing well here.
let's see. It's terrible but awesome. Like in a vacuum, it's laughably fun. Yeah, new one was great though. I thought retcon it so they have more freedom moving forward. Yeah, that was the right. That was the obvious idea. Don't be burdened by. Whoa, wow, that was incredible. Did you see that? You like invented a slow motion shot. That was awesome. My God, I'm all over the place. Sorry, we started talking about horror movies, and my brain just exploded with like joy because I never actually get to intellectualize this shit with anybody. I'm like,
No, there's a lot going on in horror movies because they're playing off of our fears.
yeah.
And that's why we appeal to them because it's a safe way for us to encounter our fears.
That's why I want you to watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Okay,
Make this your
I
next.
mean, I loved Halloween 1. Huge fan of it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes, and it's one of the more... Actually, to me, one of the more brutal scenes in that movie is when he beats that kid to death with a stick.
Yes.
And
Turns
the
my
way
stomach
it's
still.
filmed
Turns my stomach to this day.
It's really
I
filmed well.
I have trouble with that
because
scene.
it flashes between the sky and a stick coming down on this kid. The kid's face, like his nose bleeding, and it just flashes in between sky and that. And it's really good till he's done,
Yeah.
Really well done.
So-
it's a disturbing scene.
Watch Halloween 2. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yeah, I will.
Right? Like-
I definitely will. Yeah.
If possible, try to find a theatrical cut. Because while I think there's some cool shit in the director's cut, the ending I think is a lot better in the theatrical cut.
That's
Okay.
right.
So,
Save yourself a few
It's worth the couple of things you lose
Yeah.
for the better ending.
You guys pick 'em up.
But like to just kind of like give you like you saying you like that scene, right? Because of how visceral and like, how intense that scene is.
And the way it's shot in such a way that, like, because if it was shot in such a way that it was just like a far off, like, look at him beating a kid with a stick, that really wouldn't mean as much as showing the kid's face and showing the sky, than showing the kid with the mask. And like the way the cuts are what make it. Really
Yeah,
what
for
it
sure.
is, yeah.
Well, Steve was saying Casino did that for me. It turned my stomach. The Joe Pesci's brother getting beaten the first
Oh, when
time.
they bury him alive? Yeah.
Yeah.
It does that,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
And,
a
and,
tough
that,
one, yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. This is speaking to Rob Zombie's fucking like skill as a director. The fact that you would make those comparisons, like his visual storytelling is really strong. Like he sets up shots really well, and I don't think he gets enough credit. The guy is a really good director.
There are also things that kind of haunt us. So I'll give you an example. This isn't even a horror movie, this is a TV show. So I didn't really dig the show when I first checked it out, but I have some friends who are into the show The Mick. With the chick who plays she plays Dee on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And so she's in charge of these kids. and like this house. So they're these rich kids whose parents are like these corrupt, like white collar criminals, and they end up in jail. And so in this episode, in this episode, the kid goes to visit his father in jail, right? And they go to visit both parents. Yeah, it's better now. They go to visit both parents in jail. So when they visit the mother in jail, it's a very different story. When they visit the father in jail, he has like a lot of his teeth removed. And his son's like, Dad, where are all your teeth? And he said, well, my cellmate took them. He said I wouldn't be needing them anymore. And there's a whole episode, you know, like more stuff happens, and what ends up happening is like their younger brother, who's like this little kid who just wanders into shit, ends up wandering into prison, making friends with these prisoners, and tells them who his dad is. And when they find out who his dad is, they're like, oh, that dude Ziggy's been raping him. They fucking shank Ziggy at the end. And so just that whole thing fucking haunted me. And what haunted me about it was not the shanking, not even just the prison rape, or what, the teeth. Yeah, the idea that like this person overpowered another man to the extent that he removed his teeth. Honestly, like, I mean, we could all talk. We could talk all the shit we want, but if
you're gonna get this movie,
I can't allow somebody to remove my teeth.
You're gonna get this
for
movie.
any kind of reason.
You're gonna get this movie.
Yeah.
Everybody focused on what they thought was the disjointed narrative and the such and such with Michael Myers, and they like focused on all these elements, and I'm like, motherfucker,
I'm haunted by the teeth.
This movie, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and you said you liked the first one, right?
Yeah, loved it. Huge.
So you remember you have Laurie and you have Annie, right?
Yes.
And
I like the girl they picked for Laurie.
I think she's great.
I thought she was very good.
She's great. And Annie is Danielle Harris.
Michael Myers being a gigantic wrestler was a smart idea.
I think so too. Annie in Halloween the remake is the little girl from 4 and 5. It's the same actress.
I had no idea.
Yeah, they just cast her as an adult. They just brought her back in.
Maybe I just don't remember 4 and 5 too well.
Those movies are
because if I watched them, I
slept
watched
on.
them.
Those movies are slept on, especially 4. 4 is incredible.
Honestly, if I saw them, I don't remember.
4 is incredible because 4. Wow, and it's funny because 2 franchises did the exact same thing. 4 in Friday the 13th and Halloween, we're doing the same thing. 4 in Friday the 13th and Halloween, they're both setting up survivors to be the new killer. At the end of 4 of Friday the 13th, Tommy Jarvis, you think he's gonna go on to be the next killer. And the same thing with the end of Halloween 4. You think, wow, Jamie is gonna end up being the next killer, and they didn't follow through in either franchise. They backed off of that. They said
finally.
Fuck yeah, man.
Fucking finally.
They set it up, but they didn't pay it off in both franchises, which is interesting. But, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 got panned because people didn't catch the subtext of the film. The subtext of this movie, it's not about the story of the events that happen in the movie. The movie is about PTSD. The movie is about the 2 survivors and how they try to have a life after what happened to them.
Right, because you don't just come back from that and you're
right.
cool.
And it has the same visceral feeling of the killing that kid scene for the whole movie. Because everything is gore to them. Going to the corner store is gore to these people. You understand? Like being around other humans.
So he looks at it from a different angle.
It's really fucking good.
That's a very different way to look at it.
Like, I think you're gonna dig it. I think you're gonna get this movie right away and be like, holy shit, this is a masterpiece. People like...
I'll check it out, man. Yo, you know
and
I will.
And I'm talking about it's literally universally shit on. My opinion, nobody seems to have this opinion. But when I watch this movie, I'm like, it's uncomfortable because this is what life would be like. This is exactly what life would be like.
Uncomfortable is what it should be.
Yeah, exactly. It's an uncomfortable
it's a
movie.
Horror movie.
Like,
you should be, like, maybe not afraid because it's not happening in real life, but you should be on edge watching a good horror movie. You shouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna relax and
Right, in this movie you can't.
puff this blunt
You
real
can't.
easy and just chill and no.
And you see, in that way, I almost want to say maybe do watch the
Well, you
director's
should
cut
puff
for
a
the
blunt.
fucking gore.
You should, but
Should always puff a
but
blunt.
even still, it's not a relaxing high. It's a fucking we're watching a horror movie kind of thing.
Fuck it, watch the one you can find because the director's cut has great gore. But like, just I like the ending in the theatrical cut better. I'm being like I'm being a thing about it. But
No, that's cool.
It doesn't.
Yo, I'll try to get the one, but if I,
Yeah.
whichever one I could find.
Yeah. You'll probably find a director's cut. It's weird. It's one of those things where it's like I wish I could paste them together, you know. But
So I'm in this factory. It's
Um,
kind of hard.
the new I want to watch this. The new Halloween was great with atmosphere, which is lost in a lot of horror films. Sure, gore is great. Yeah, right. Tension. Gore means nothing without tension. Absolutely.
Fuck.
Steve, what do you think? What do you think of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Are you familiar with it? I talk about this movie a lot because it's so universally panned,
Really?
but yet I think it's like
Yeah, I just didn't even end up watching.
it's universally panned, but I think it's actually a masterclass in actually getting in the head of characters and treating them like people who exist.
I mean, I think Rob Zombie's a good guy to be thinking about brutality.
He's just really underrated. He's very underrated.
Hey, House of a Thousand Corpses is a fantastic movie.
So
It's really, really good.
dude, so is the Devil's Rejects.
Yes.
So is fucking.
But House of a Thousand Corpses, he surprised us with.
Yeah. Well, and House of a Thousand
You know what I
Corpses
mean?
was like his love letter to Texas Chainsaw. He wanted to make that
Yes.
kind of grindhouse film where it's like, you know, surreal. It's super surreal.
So if you look at this situation right now, I have the advantage because I have a longer range weapon.
Strangeland is slept on. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I saw Strangeland with Dee Snider.
Yeah, that is absolutely a slept-on movie.
It's actually really funny that it's Dee Snider.
Captain Howdy, baby.
Yeah, it's
That was my first internet handle.
His name was Captain Howdy.
Captain Howdy,
You know what
yeah.
that's from, right?
What's that from?
Exorcist.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, you're right. That is.
Captain Howdy is straight up from The Exorcist. He did that on purpose.
That's on purpose.
And
yeah.
in The Exorcist, when she's playing with the Ouija board, her mother's like, "Hey, what are you doing, Reagan?"
Yeah. 100,
And she's like, "Oh, I'm playing with Captain Howdy."
100%. Yeah.
Yo,
wow.
connections, man.
Yeah, that's real.
Deep. That's a deep connection.
That's real. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. That's so awesome.
That's who Captain Howdy is.
Oh, that's 100.
This-
Oh.
They sort of made Captain Howdy into like this evil force that plays a huge role in like the work, you know? That's pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool.
Man, just what a great. Wow, it's funny how Manhunt is the game that brought us to this discussion. I'm like, man,
Well, Manhunt's like an action horror game.
I haven't had this like fun
Horror
conversation
aspect,
about
but
horror.
it's
in a
more
while.
action, but there's a horror aspect. Especially when you're not in these shooting levels and you kind of have to sneak around. Like in this, you know, the shooting levels are a blast to play. They're a huge, like, really good time. Especially because the whole first part of the game is all stealth, and by the time you get to the
Yeah, it's
shooting
meant to be like a pallet cleanse.
you're kind of dying for something like this. I want to do some run and gun now, you know? And they give you that because it's a good fucking game.
That's the nasty.
I know it's a
I heard
Yeah, you know, and it's funny.
I hear his voice. I hear his voice. That's how I know he's there because I don't have the map on.
That's
when you
right.
have the map on, it shows.
They should all
I
be
play
playing
this shit
something
hardcore.
else. Ooh.
Right. Whenever anyone wants to,
That was hard.
you got a little
Yeah,
bit lucky on
a
that
little
one.
bit lucky there.
Whenever y'all want to slag Tom's gameplay, remember he's playing a fucking hardcore. Yeah, right? He's like a mouse.
It's more fun that way. I mean, because you actually have to pay attention and listen now.
Oh man, dude, this is one of the better conversations I've had on stream in a minute. You like fill
I
my
wish more people were into it.
chest with fucking joy on this one, man.
Ah, whatever. Fuck the people. We don't need them.
They here? Well, we got Stevie.
We got Steve. That's fine.
Stevie's hanging out.
So that I just kicked open a door and shot him.
You know, when people miss
Isn't
moments,
that cool to do?
you know what I always say? Yeah. Imagine kick it open and shoot the shotgun. That's the strategy. You know what I would love to get as a video game? Fucking Dust Till Dawn.
That's a video game?
No, I wish it would be.
You think it should be?
I wish it would be. Yeah, I would love it as a video game.
You think Rockstar should make it?
Yo, please. Yo, like, let's go.
Son amigo.
Sorry, maybe I could bring this guy closer.
Canard.
My lord.
Bring him closer. Come on. Come on over. I'm all out of ammo. As far as you could tell, I'm out of ammo, bitch.
They already
over.
did? That's Red Dead? Wait, no, Red Dead is not Dusk Till Dawn. Stop it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Dickhead.
That's not accurate.
You know what game I'd love to see you guys play together? Dead Rising 2. Specifically 2, huh? I prefer the first one, but...
I've played neither, but I understand that it's funny.
You might take to those games. You might.
I feel like I would because I do like an open world game.
There's a lot of prioritizing that goes on in those games.
Well, I do that when I play Red Dead.
Yeah.
I make decisions, I prioritize, I plan.
The second
out
one is
where
just so
I'm going next.
ridiculous. I see what you mean. Steve said he prefers the first one also, but the second one is so ridiculous. Yeah. Saints Row 3. 3 is my least favorite in the series. I'll admit. Well, not counting 1. I don't think 1 counts.
I've only watched somebody play Saints Row.
Saints Row 2 is my... Well, until Grand Theft Auto 5, Saints Row 2 is my favorite Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it operates the same way.
Like my favorite game of that type. You create your character, so there's already... Well, you got a guy. There's already more of a personal attachment because you literally make your character.
Yes. You give him like a weird mask and stuff, right?
No, you just make whatever you want.
Well, I mean, I get that out of Red Dead because I play Arthur in different ways when I play it. And I put him in different outfits.
Dude, Steve, have you played 4? Have you played 4? Like, I have to ask this question because I find it hard for somebody to tell me that 3 is their favorite gameplay if they've played 4. Because 4 is... 4, unfortunately, like 3, narrative is whatever, but the gameplay in 4, dude, 4 is... That game opens up, it becomes basically everything you ever want a Crackdown to be is Saints Row 4.
I don't know what the fuck Crackdown is.
What? Oh my god.
Yo,
oh,
I'm
you
not
you were an
familiar.
Xbox guy, right?
Nah.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I'm not an
Crackdown's
Xbox
great.
guy.
It's like a power fantasy superhero cop game.
And it's not any fault of Xbox. Actually, my preferences for PS4 mainly come from the controller.
Crackdown was incredible. Crackdown 2 is trash. Apparently Crackdown 3 is trash. But Saints Row 4 is the next evolution of Crackdown. So Saints Row 4 is absolutely worth playing all the way through. It's so fun. It's really fun. But Saints Row 2 is good on a gameplay and good on a story level. It's my favorite version of that Grand Theft Auto type of thing before Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. That one is on another level, but before...
That's a risky move right there.
Saints Row 2 is really worth playing. It's a really good game. It holds up incredibly well because it has the Grand Theft Auto vibe and the story and the presentation and storytelling that way, but it also rewards you for lunacy in a way that Grand Theft Auto doesn't. Like your levels go up.
Lunacy.
Yeah, your levels increase when you do.
I feel like Grand Theft Auto rewards lunacy pretty nicely.
But it doesn't level you up while you do it. Saints Row 2
acting crazy
levels you up while you act crazy.
For like doing something like running into the middle of shit
and
taking tiny cover but blowing everybody up.
You get score rewards for
crazy.
You get bonus experience for driving on the wrong side of the road. Like the game embraces that element of it and just folds it into what you're already doing. It's great.
What do you think of the Far Cry games?
The only one I played was the 80s kind of one, Blood Money or whatever. 4. That was the only one that like held me.
Whatever the most recent one is, you're in like the Himalayas. Yeah, 5 points, 5 star, 4 stars.
4 stars.
Yeah.
A fucking 4 out of 5 final score.
See, if I didn't execute that one and killed him instead, nah, that definitely wasn't what held me back. Yeah, I don't know. It's not easy to get. They don't just hand out style points. You gotta earn them. Oh, this one's the shit. This is the best.
Bad part about
Every time things happen in an insane asylum, shit is always gonna be cool.
Exceptionally well-staffed hospital.
You know, every time, every fucking time.
We gotta do Manhunt too. I gotta get a copy of it. We gotta do
The
it.
electric chair room is where death sentences are
You gotta do that
carried out.
blind playthrough of Manhunt too.
I wanna grab me another beer. I hit pause.
This was the last one, homie.
Oh man, shit. We gotta go get more beer.
I can throw up the BRB.
What?
I got the.
Yeah, throw it up there. Throw it up there.
All right, we're gonna.
It's about to be an insane asylum. So
we gonna
shit's
re-up
gonna
and
be
come back.
fresh when we get back anyway. The beer is necessary. It's 100%
BRB is up.
entirely necessary.
Mics are down. Play some tunes. Yeah, let me throw some cash.
Oh, that was like, yeah.
Started walking, started talking, learned to get it right. Get a job and buy a car, maybe lease a wife. Started buying, started selling, swelling up with pride. Get a house, you figured out what brings eternal life. Live for what you take, for what you give. Will help you learn to live with what you did. Come and find that you ain't bonafide. Somehow death always wins. Started falling, started crawling, getting braced to fight. Trust the dream that you believe will lead you to the light. Steady climbing, feel like crying, cause you're scared of heights. Build a home, you're fully grown, it's time to live your life. Live for what you take, for what you give. Will help you learn to live with what you did. Come and find that you ain't bonafide. Somehow death always wins.
Yeah. Alright. Cold-blooded. It's that cold-blooded thuggery. No hugs. Baby got bed bugs. Ain't nobody wanna sleep there. can call me a bear, but don't you dare call me panda. That's only for the black and white. And I already told you that I'm gray and brown. Keep your head up in the times when things seem down. Put your hand out, get it wet. Black and white pandas, never forget. Black and white pandas, never forget. Gray and brown pandas don't exist. I already told you this. Don't ever call me a panda. I'm a bear. I'm a bear. I'm a bear. I'm a bear. You're up here too. We are the black and white, gray and brown animals on the top of the mountain, holding it down for all to see, for all to see, for all to see. Black and white and gray and brown living together on top of the mountain. Is your hand out? Is it wet? Am I speaking in tongues, saying things that you'll never forget? Like that one song where the guy talked about the black and white panda and the gray and brown bear and the gray and brown bear and the gray and brown panda, which does not exist, but only in that one line. VHS, DVDs, VHS, DVDs, in excess, DVDs, in excess, DVDs, midnight oil, in excess, midnight oil, in excess, Australian bands, Australian bands, Australian bands, black and white pandas, gray and brown bears, black and white pandas, gray and brown bears, black and white pandas, gray and brown bears, VHS, DVDs, in excess, midnight oil, black and white pandas, gray and brown bears, all with their hands out, all getting wet, all on top of the mountain, all things that you can't forget. VHS, DVDs, in excess, midnight oil, gray and black pandas, and I think I might go on top of the mountain, and I think I might go downhill, and I think I might go downhill, and I think I might go downhill, get dry, go downhill, get dry, never stop, get to the sky, and I think I might go downhill, get dry, and I think I might go downhill, get dry, and I think black and white pandas, black and white pandas, black and white pandas, black and white pandas, gray and brown bears, gray and brown bears, gray and brown bears, gray and brown bears, there, 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 wet and dry, wet and dry, wet and dry, VHS and DVDs, wet and dry, wet and dry, wet and dry, VHS and DVDs, $1, $1, $1 for one time, only $1, VHS and DVDs and black and white pandas and gray and brown pandas don't exist, don't exist, don't exist, don't exist, don't exist, don't exist, don't exist. Put your hand out, get it wet, spitting lyrics that you'll never forget. Component cables have taken over the scenarios where yellow, white, and red once ruled. A monopoly has fallen. Testing. Go ahead. Testing. Good evening, Mary. This is 11 July. This is your old man at the 121 evacuation hospital. Young Total Korea. This is Sunday evening. And we've had a very lovely day here for a change. We're in the midst of our rainy season right now.
God, I wish I was gonna let this song play. I'm not gonna let it play. I fucking love this song, man. Where you at? Where you at, Tom? Let's check that mic.
Hey, yo.
Incarcerated Scarface is in the building. Yo, fucking Tony's mom is the hero of the story. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't even get it twisted a little bit. Let's go. Let's do it.
Oof. I get incarcerated. I'm gonna get myself solid.
Solitary. Day one. I'm getting
I
solitary.
need to be around these gem pop motherfuckers.
Wait
I'm
up.
gonna just read mad books and fucking.
I'm gonna read Mad Magazine in prison. We ain't got one. Why you run away from the mic?
Our social worker told us about you guys. Oh, we ain't got one. Whoa, you must have scared them off. He's so tough. Fucking Fox, man. I'm having trouble starting this up again. What do I do?
Press start.
I'm doing that.
Oh no. What happened,
I
man?
hit start before, and I thought that was a pause of the game, but maybe it's not a pause of the
Oh,
game.
looks like we might have had a freeze.
We had a freeze? The fuck out of here.
Homie, I think we have a freeze.
Yo, don't you got technologies?
my Chechnologies is not on point, apparently. Fuck. All right, hold
I
up.
thought you was Kingnology.
I'm gonna throw this money up real quick. No, hold on. Just the big one.
You 14-karat gold slum computer wizard.
We're gonna have to catch her up.
See, and what's fucked up is that's something Ghostface said. Some of the most beautiful poetry that exists in our world was written by members of the Wu-Tang Clan.
That's real.
It's the Wu-Tang strategy.
The Wu-Tang. It
He
is.
just had the strategy.
It is all the Wu-Tang strategy. It's never been anything but the Wu-Tang strategy.
And actually, motherfuckers are dumb because, like, a lot of them are not using the strategy. Meanwhile, the Wu-Tang Clan is a more successful organization than any I can think of.
Truthfully.
They accomplish
Dude,
their goals.
Wu
They make
affiliates.
more money.
Dude, Wu affiliates. How many Wu affiliate albums are there? They're not even in the Wu-Tang
Killer
Clan.
Bees. Yeah.
Dude.
But the thing is, too, like, there are so many organizations within our society that, for some reason, refuse to adapt the Wu-Tang strategy and end up failing. Prime example, the MTA. Their failure over the course of 25 years to not adopt the Wu-Tang strategy is the reason commuters suffer today.
That is so beyond real. It's incredible.
Yo, healthcare system.
Your level of-
not using the Wu-Tang strategy, they're fucking up.
Yo, that is so on point. You are 100 on that.
Yo, they meant it when they said it was the truth. The fuck, man? People are fucking up left and right. And Wu-Tang is still doing their thing. Like, still bad motherfuckers.
It never
It's
ends.
ridiculous.
You know, my heart is heavy because it never feels quite right without the Osiris. You know,
Well, true.
you know,
True. Very
it's,
true.
it's just one of those things.
I put on MC conditioner
Oh,
and like I
You can never say this boy's an amateur.
and you know, one solitary teardrop, just one.
I know. You have to let it flow for the man. He's just.
I mean, that's also just an amazing
He-
song.
yo,
and to get fucking Snoop on that.
I'm gonna say-
and it's so low qual that
Dude,
it's beautiful.
I'm gonna say it in plain English.
Real
Old
good
Dirty Bastard is the Freddie Mercury of hip hop.
shit.
The man was just.
I feel like that's an odd comparison to me.
Nah, man. You gotta peep his incredible nature. His doing 75 takes to get the one that sounds like he did it in 2 minutes. The man is he's a vocal genius. The fact that there's
I mean, what you're describing is that he really puts the work.
they're still
I'll say that.
they're still making remix albums and mixtapes off of his verses that they didn't use till this day because he's so flexible as a vocalist
He was just able to go.
that the shit sounds like a fresh tape. You know what I mean? Like he was a vocal chameleon. Nigga Please is one of the most incredible hip hop albums I've ever heard in my life. Like, it's masterclass. And that's not a slur. It's the name of the album. The album is called Nigga Please. Go get
No,
it.
yo, you gotta say the name.
It's
Ain't
the name-
nobody mad at that, yo.
It's the name of the record.
Nah, ain't nobody mad at that.
It's genius level shit. It's
Okay.
like it's we all know Return to the 36 Chambers is a stone cold masterpiece,
yeah.
but people don't talk about Nigga Please that way, and it's like y'all need to listen to that album.
So, but that album's more thought out, and Return to the 36 Chambers is his first solo effort.
Yeah, it's more like an extension
And-
of what the Wu-Tang was doing.
I don't know if I agree with you on that, but I think it's the early stages of what he was doing, and I think he
Right, well,
advanced.
that's what
and
I mean.
think
It's
what you're
still
talking about,
under
he-
the Wu-Tang umbrella. It feels like a Wu-Tang album that's starring ODB.
I mean, honestly, the title of it too lends
Yeah.
itself to. But I don't know, man. I think he's going off on his own. I think we're seeing him fucking shine on his own on that album.
But it really comes
But I
to
think
light
I
on
think
the
what you're
next
saying
one.
is true too, because he comes into himself.
Get
You know?
his hitch.
Mm-hmm.
See how he likes it. That's what I'm gonna do.
But I don't know, man. Yo, like the Damager, you know that one?
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring the mic and I'll damage it, crush you. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Dude, I
Here comes the medical examiner. One verse, then you're out for the count. Bring the ammonia. Make sure they send the right amount. Woke him up and then asked him, how do you attend this?
but
Swinging sword, tremendous.
But this is this is my tendency showing. You know what I mean? Like I love ODB, I love Mike Patton, I love these wild motherfuckers who don't.
You know, man, you're gonna hate me for this, but I don't love Mike Patton.
Oh, you know.
I get it, but
Oh no, I just.
stylistically, he doesn't pull together shit that makes me feel something.
I feel like that just makes me feel like you haven't heard the right shit.
Maybe.
Cause he's so versatile. Like
I like his experimental nature. I think that's a good thing.
he's
and
all
that's
over.
cool.
He's all over the place.
And I love that. And I think every artist should be pushing and searching for something.
Like, have you put time in the Tomahawk?
Nah,
I think you would dig Tomahawk.
Alright.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
again, I respect his grind
Or-
because I think he's an artist who fucking pushes and is trying to figure out something new.
And
So I respect that 100%.
Like,
even though I'm not super familiar with his work.
Well, here's the thing about Mike Patton. Mike Patton is such a chameleon that like there's some people that just they're not gonna get it, right? They're gonna be like, I don't see what this is not for
But
me.
the thing is, I could listen to Mike Patton and say I don't like this necessarily, but I get the experimentation. And
But
I
his
get,
experimentation is so wide though that he has an album where he's singing Italian standards.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
With an
yeah.
orchestra. I played that shit for my grandma and she
He
loved it.
like went to Italy and hung around with an Italian street
Dude,
band.
it's beautiful.
and
Like
fucking-
it'll
yeah.
make you cry. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
No, but I like that he pushes limits,
his
he's
breath
doing
is
his thing.
so
Yeah.
wide that I'm like, there's bound to be something he's done that will click with you. I can't believe, like, you know what I
Just
mean?
the majority. I don't know. From what I heard from him chilling with other people who are really into it, I'm kind of like, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, but I get
You know what I
I
mean?
get worried. I'm like, what did they show you? You know what I mean? That's always my question.
Probably good shit. I mean,
But I understand.
You know what I mean?
He
It
absolutely.
might not be for everybody.
He absolutely is an acquired taste. That's 100.
And
Like,
I have tastes that are weird too.
He-
but
he ain't-
doesn't.
he ain't gonna
he didn't
get
do it
everybody.
for me.
He-
He didn't do it for me.
You know, like the same way we're able to click on things like Mars Volta and at the drive-in, like, you know how many people I tried and they just look at me like, why are you putting this on?
Oh,
you
I was
know?
listening to Mars Volta on the way home today, and I listened to the song from the album Bedlam and Goliath.
Probably my favorite.
The song
Probably my favorite.
Cavalettas.
Oh my god.
And when I listened to it, I felt grateful that that song exists.
I think Gun to My Head, that's my
That's-
favorite. That's my favorite album they ever put out. I love that. You
I
know,
don't know if I've even heard of that.
Gun to My Head. If you make me pick, no, I'm saying
Mars Volta album?
no Bedlam. I'm saying.
Oh, Bedlam.
if
My
you-
bad. Yeah, I thought you were saying
no,
that was
you got
an
me. You got
album.
me. You got me. I'm saying if you put a gun to my head, I think Bedlam is my favorite album they ever put out. I love that
It's
record.
really good.
It's
I
just,
mean,
it's so chaotic.
yeah, it's a lot of. It's very noisy.
Like, let's go.
Having like.
But it's also Latin jazz. It's the most Latin jazz. Like it's so like the rhythms inside of that chaos are so smooth that I lose my mind when I listen to that album. You know?
Yeah, this guy's gonna kill me.
Nah, he won't. He won't. Oh, he will, motherfucker. He got bullets.
With Mars Volta, I mean, I love all this shit, but like, yeah, Bedlam and Goliath's a good album, but what's the one before that? Amputecture.
Amputecture is another
That
one.
shit's fucking crazy. That shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Consensus pick, right? You got consensus pick is Francis.
Well, Francis is like a musical, like
Casual
fucking
casual
effort.
is
It's
D-Louse.
kind of like
You know?
it's like a crowning achievement.
Yeah. No. It's incredible.
Francis,
It's
yeah.
incredible. I want it.
Yeah.
I want that. That's the one I want on vinyl. I want that album on vinyl really badly.
That makes sense. Nah, Francis is for real.
You know, casual pick is D-Louse, which there's nothing wrong with that. That album is brilliant.
yeah, it's great.
You know, and we all wanted the next After Driving album. Instead, we got the first Mars Volta album, right? Like that's the consensus on that.
I disagree with that. I like Mars Volta and how they operate very differently than After Driving. I always like that.
Oh, I prefer Mars Volta, absolutely. But
They're a better band overall, yeah.
well, that being said, though, I love At the Driving. I think At the Driving is tremendous.
After Driving's amazing.
And the newest record, though it didn't seem to make that big of an impact, like in the zeitgeist or whatever. I think.
But that's because people are caught up in their old shit.
Dude, I think it's brilliant. I think it's as good as anything they put out. The production is sleeker, and that maybe makes it less immediate.
Yeah.
Especially compared to In Casino Out. That's my favorite At the Driving.
So
I love that.
One
record.
of the things with In Casino Out is that I love this song, "Devil Among the Tailors," and like, yeah, I don't love the album as a whole, but like, there's certain songs on there that I'm like, yo, this shit's fucking great.
I love that album because I love how what's the
I'm not even playing this game at all. This is rough.
Yeah, I know, we're at like half in the conversation.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about In Casino Out, like, okay, Relationship of Command, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous.
I mean, it's
It's a gorgeous.
Well, the thing is,
record.
there's 2 songs on Relationship that fucking really hit me, and one of them is Sleepwalk Capsules.
Of course.
Because that pacifies.
Yeah. I know what
And
you
the
like. I
other
know what
is-
you like.
The other is, I forget if it's called Enfilade or something like that, but it's the one that's like, sacrifice on railroad tracks,
Yeah.
freight train coming.
Freight
Yo.
coming. Yeah, that's my.
I hear that shit and it gets me so excited and like
Well, that's
happy about the world.
that's the way I feel.
And I don't know why.
See, but that's the way I
because
feel.
that's not the attitude of the song at all.
But that's the
it
way.
just makes me happy.
Right. That's the way I feel about Chana.
It shouldn't though.
That's the way I feel about Chana Brown in Casino Out. I fucking love that
Okay.
song. You know?
And it shouldn't make you happy.
No, but it does.
It makes me very happy.
Yeah. No, but that's funny that you said that. That's my favorite song on. That's my favorite song on that album.
Yeah.
That and that's the names out of my head. The big one. The long one. Why is the name out of my head right now?
Quarantine.
Yes, thank you. Jesus Christ, I was gonna bother me. Yeah. That's. I actually wanted to cover that, and I almost got August on Sunday.
Quite an
to do it.
undertaking though.
But I was gonna do it our way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should go with freight train coming, freight train coming, because that actually Rob would do that.
Yeah, it would really
and
suit
that
us.
would work.
That's
yeah.
actually not a bad idea.
That actually,
I'll bring it up. That's
that
not a bad
song
idea.
I think is more your vibe. If
Yeah.
you were to cover. Yeah. And you actually don't have to do the whole.
Yeah, we can do it. Actually, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
And actually, if you sing
You're gonna
out
love
the,
our new record, by the way.
You sing out the sacrifice on
Yeah.
railroad
Yeah, yeah.
tracks, and like Rob and Gerard both yell freight train
Yeah,
coming.
as soon as we get Gerard to be the
He
baritone.
doesn't have to do that. He just needs to yell.
He should just be
He
the-
doesn't even need to be in tune. Honestly, he doesn't. He just needs to yell that line.
Yeah,
For that to work. That's all.
You're right.
Because you'd have the both of them just yelling it and like just in the mix. You'd be good. There are certain things in music that need to be precise, but that's not one of them.
Yeah. yeah, I know. You're real on that for sure.
I mean, even like when you listen to the song, what's it called? I don't know. The one that's like manuscript replica.
Yeah.
Like, he's saying it all fucked up.
Manuscript
Yeah.
I
So
fucking
like,
love that shit. Oh my god, they're great.
Gerard shouldn't worry about his singing. He should just yell shit.
What a great band. What a great band.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like Mars is more textural and for me more rewarding in the long run. But
I like the more textural lyrics.
yeah, they're more textural. And
Yeah,
for
they're
me,
all about the layers and
and-
the adding. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts.
right, and that gives me more shit to unpack as time goes on, and that
Funny is,
inevitably.
even with their moving parts, their song structures are like the regular song structure. They're like intro, verse, chorus, verse, and you lose track of that shit, cause like there's so much madness. Oh man, I'm blowing this so hard right now.
Fuck, man.
I gotta start here again.
It's being a dick. Stop being a dick, internet.
Alright.
Be cool.
I'll start being more concerned with gameplay.
Yeah. No, we gotta. Dude, that's how it is sometimes. You get in a good conversation. You can't worry about it. We just make it happen. You know what I mean?
So my thing is, I switch this guy on.
Right. He electrocutes.
He annoys the guy who's guarding up front, and he's like, or whatever the fuck he's yelling about. He's an idiot. And so I wait for him to come in, turn off the switch, and as he walks out, I'm gonna kill him.
So right, but to finish my thought, so while we focus on what's happening here, the textural was the A point of the thought was the textural side. The B point was, but there's an immediacy at the drive-in that I don't think has actually really been met since then.
Because there's still punk influence.
Yeah, there's a ferocity to that band that like
they're losing an aspect of punk when they go from there to at the drive-in, which is okay. You know, they're growing up and evolving as people. And
Oh, you mean when they went to Mars Volta?
Oh, right, yeah. Going from at the drive-in to Mars Volta. But you know, there's still a real like intellectual aspect.
Oh hell yeah, and when that's what I think people didn't understand when they went back now to at the drive-in is like you wanted these people to unpause and be 20, and it's like, well, they're not 20, they're fucking 40 plus.
Yeah, which is your argument about the new album.
Yeah,
which I think is
people
okay.
But I think people are just getting it. They're not seeing. They're looking.
I'll give it another listen.
They're focusing on the differences instead of the similarities. When you focus on the differences, yes, it's not as immediate. Yes, it's not as urgent. Yes, it's
but
not as.
I don't really want similarities. I kind of want them to push into new
Well,
territory.
and I think.
And I'm not getting that out of that.
Oh, see, I think just give it more spins.
Yeah, I'll give it another listen.
There's so much theming going on with the lyrics and the way things are presented, like, and then you watch the visuals that accompany it. It's a very well thought out record. There are some people who have made a criticism that I kind of see where they go, it feels more like Anti-Mask 2 than a return to At the Drive-In. I see that, but when you go to the subject matter, then I go, no, the subject matter is very At the Drive-In. They're addressing things directly that are very uncomfortable and very socially conscious.
Because usually I feel like the subject matter is sort of enigmatic,
but
or
not
like
in At the
hard
Drive-In.
to
At the Drive-In was a very socially conscious band, and yeah, Cedric is.
Well, yeah, if you look at like Invalid Litter Department, that's like about some real shit.
Cedric can be esoteric in his word choices. I think that's just how he likes to write.
Well, yeah.
But
they're a band that values complexity for sure.
Like, I really love the new record. I love it a lot. I think I don't want to say that it's not getting its love because it did get love. It reviewed well, you know.
I mean, they're touring with it.
And they're touring with it, right? Like, and the fans are out there watching it. Everybody's burned by Jim not being there, but like, what are you gonna do? You don't want to do it. Like, you don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
Jim?
Jim is the other guitar player.
The Sparta guy?
Yeah, the Sparta guy. The yelly guy.
That's who he is. He's the Sparta guy.
I know, Sparta's whack. let's just tell
They have a few good songs, but they're not Mars Volta.
They're fucking whack.
They're not ill like Mars Volta.
Yeah. You're being look at how we switched roles. Now you're being nicer. You're like, no. It's no. I'm like, yeah, fuck Sparta.
I don't think they're completely whack, because I don't know. Again, too, I probably haven't listened to them in a while, but like that album, that like Wiretap Scars album back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was feeling that when I was young.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I don't think it was bad. I just think like they didn't have the teeth.
Yeah, he's the corny element, right? But I do miss his voice. I miss Jim in the band. I'm not trying to be a shithead. I do wish he was there. Of course, he's part of it.
Yeah,
and
but
I like
it's only
his
cool because of what's going on around him.
Yeah, I like his. And you know what I miss is his interplay with Omar on guitar. I actually think they had a lot of guitar chemistry that is missing in the new lineup.
That's fair to say.
I miss that. I do. So I miss him, just not maybe as a presence. I miss him as a
guitar presence, not as a vocal presence.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about him. His yells not being there. Like I'm like, who gives a fuck? He's not much of a singer. Like, you know.
No, but he never needs.
And the guy who's playing now, Keely Davis, he's good. It's not like he's a trash player. He's a good player, and he's
Mars Volta. The thing that was cool about them was that they were fucking constantly
There's a good
dynamic.
boy.
Mhm.
There's a good boy.
They had a killer
You
lineup.
didn't know what the fuck you were gonna get next.
Every version of that band had a killer
Each
lineup.
band would also not each band, but each album would have like a different drummer on it.
Well, yeah.
Because
Well,
drummers are kind of difficult anyway. But
they fucked up though. But let's be real. They fucked up.
how so?
John Theodore should have been the drummer of that band forever. The guy who's on the first 2 records. That's their drummer.
I do like him a lot.
That's
but
their drummer.
I
And
like some of the other drummers that they've gotten.
I like Thomas.
Thomas Bridge, yo.
I like him on Bedlam.
Yes.
I think he was.
There shouldn't have been another
Yeah,
guy.
he was the right guy
He
for
was
it.
the right guy for Bedlam.
But there's a reason he's not in the band anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Because he can't play a group. He can't. All he can do is be a
What do you
savage.
mean?
He's a savage. He's a fucking savage. He's a savage, but he can't.
Oh, he just rips it.
Yeah, he can't lay it in the cut. He can't lay it in the cut. He just doesn't have. He's missing an element that I think was vital for the band, and that's why I don't think he lasted long term. While he was perfect
But
for
he was what they needed.
for
then.
that album,
Yeah.
he's perfect. He's the
Because that's what they were doing.
yeah,
That's like this is how they got down. Like, they were-
It was a Toki Out record, and he's a
Yeah.
Toki Out drummer, and he was great for that record.
I don't know, man. I think that guy's an amazing drummer.
Yeah, but if you put him,
Because he brought those songs to life. He gave them a fucking ferocity.
right, but he wouldn't have been able.
And I think he could come down if he
He wouldn't have been
concentrated
able.
on it.
He wouldn't have been able to be the drummer for Francis though. He wouldn't have been able. Like that guy just doesn't play like that. He doesn't.
No, it would be a different style. And,
Yeah.
and John Theodore,
John Theodore
is also
is-
a heavier hitter.
John Theodore is God tier. That dude's a legend on drums. You see what
Has
he.
a little headphone issue.
You want me to spin it?
It's the fucking this side. Yeah, there we go.
John Theodore. You see what he did for fucking Queens of the Stone Age. He's a drummer on like Clockwork.
Oh, I didn't
That's,
know
that's
that.
the best album they made in forever. Cause you got that motherfucker in there, and look what happens.
I didn't even know he played with them.
He's still in the band. He's the drummer for Queens of the Stone Age now. Which, whatever, that last Queens of the Stone Age record is trash, but I'm just gonna say the truth. I love that band.
Yeah, but like,
But like Clockwork,
shit he did was
like
cool,
Clockwork is
so-
a masterpiece. You know what I mean? Like he literally joined the band and they made a fucking masterpiece. And it's very much he's a big part of that. That dude's an incredible drummer, and they fucked up with him in the band because it was a communication issue. It was like they weren't on the same page the way they needed to be. And both guys, like Cedric and Omar, have admitted it since. Like, if we had known then what we know now, he'd still be in the band. And
damn, really?
yeah, they just weren't communicating properly, and they lost the guy who was vital to their sound. I feel that way, even though my favorite album he's not on. So it's a weird thing that I'm saying it that way, but I think overall they lost something without, because he was. You know what it was? Okay, there's an. This is so like nerdy. I'm gonna say it in a real fucking like nerdy way. There's an in between in everything that Omar and Cedric do together, right? There's this dance between the da 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 of the guitar and the da 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 of the vocal. There's the moments where they choose to stop and the moments where they choose to pull back, right? Ike is another loss. Like
I know, man. Yeah, that dude.
Like Ike was incredible.
I was actually thinking about that today.
Because he knew when to lay on a pad. He knew when to just hold a note.
He also, too, and this is another element, was fun to watch.
Well, yeah.
He was
yeah,
very
yeah,
fun
yeah.
to watch.
Well, that's a different,
He's
right.
Extremely.
That's an underrated aspect, maybe.
And something to consider, you know? And fun to watch, not because he played to the crowd, because he didn't. He just was enjoying himself so much. And like putting so much passion into it that when you watch him, it was a joy to watch.
There was a language between that lineup.
Yeah, that was a good lineup.
Between the Francis lineup.
I
the
love
Francis,
Ike.
the Francis
but
lineup.
Ike hung on until fucking.
Well, he passed, unfortunately.
Oh really?
Yeah, he passed.
Shit, I didn't know
He would
that.
still be in.
But he was on fucking Goliath.
I was gonna say he would still be there. He just passed. But like,
I think maybe at Octahedron was where.
which
he was
and
not
that
in.
album, like, I love that record, and it's not the most loved
It's
album
not-
they've done.
yeah.
But I really like. There's a lot of songs on that album I really think are. I think the songwriting is strong on that record. I really like the songs.
I like Cotopaxi.
Yeah, that's the jam.
That's the ill one from that album.
They always goes for the
Well,
jam.
like, I don't know. I don't love that album.
I know you said that at the time. Remember when it came out, we were kind of split on it. I like the songwriting a lot. I do. I think the songs are well written, It's not quite as adventurous, but
Yeah,
but I also think
kind of what throws me off.
but it was timed for
Because to me, the
it-
thing that I liked about Mars Volta was that they went out on a limb. And so when I see them going into kind of the same shit that they, I mean, not, I don't want to call it shit, but the same stuff they normally do.
What about
It's a little bit like, yo, you guys aren't really reaching out anymore like you were.
How do you?
You're kind of going with the formula that you saw work, like a business would do.
Yo, Killer 7 is that's coming up on the channel. Dude, Suda's my baby, man. Suda's my baby, man. That's my dude. That's my motherfucker. I think he's about to announce No More Heroes 3, and I'm super pumped for it. I can't fucking wait. Let's go. Killer 7 is really interesting. I've never finished it. I've never finished Killer 7. But it's really, as all of Suda's games are, it's really hard to classify. It's really interesting. It's just like, it's like an on-rails shooter adventure game, I guess is the way you would describe it. It's really, it's interesting. That's a you know what? That's a motherfucker you would enjoy. Suda 5-1, his games are stupid. Like, you just don't even know what they are. They're,
Who?
this guy, Suda, his name is,
he do?
he makes video games. He's like a director.
Oh.
Creative guy. His games are really hard to classify to the point when you're trying to even describe them to a person, it's like, well, this and this happens.
How do you access his games?
They've been released on various platforms of all different types. The one I would say to check out is No More Heroes. You can get that on pretty much. You got a PlayStation, so you can get it on.
Yeah. I can download it on the PS4.
Yeah, check out No More Heroes. That's not my favorite version of the game, but it should translate.
It sounds like it's an introduction, though.
Yeah, it's a great game to start with.
I don't know.
He's crazy. Killer 7 is also another one, but that one is bananas. Like, it's really hard to classify, but it's really interesting.
That sounds cool. That sounds like something I would dig a lot.
His games are hard to classify, but I collect his stuff.
Well, Steve just described him as avant-garde.
Yeah, he's an auteur. He's an auteur.
Nice.
He's involved in every aspect of production, and the games. His what he calls his aesthetic is punk rock gaming. He wants to smash convention at every point.
But it seems like he's about. I don't know. I thought when you started describing it to me, I started thinking about like craftsmanship and like pride in your work. That
Yes,
kind of thing.
yes, he has.
That's what I was thinking of.
What his approach to gaming is see the vision through to the end.
Oh.
You know, see the vision through to the end, make the game fit the vision, even if the game is hard to classify. You know what I mean? Even if you're not necessarily sure what you're playing, by the end you'll be like, I don't know what the fuck that was, but I loved it. You know what I mean? Like, his games stay with you.
I'm a vegetarian. You say.
Because they use the whole medium. They're not just gameplay, they're not just visual, they're not just sound. They're an interesting incorporation of all those elements together.
I didn't even know I had access to like individual game makers, and like that sounds kind of underground.
Dude, it's
and
fucking
really cool.
Dude, there's more out there than the mainstream. Just like anything else, right? Just like movies or music, there is.
Yeah, but it's kind of recent that it's been with video games.
No, they've been there the whole time, man. They just don't get the press, you know? Like, it's...
Well, they can get more press now than they used to be able to.
It's the same conversations we've always been having, right? The shit that I'm into, I dig in hard like that. I want to find the motherfuckers who are pushing the envelope. I want to find the motherfuckers who are defying convention.
Yeah, because when you're not doing that, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Somebody pitched this. Somebody walked in and pitched this game to somebody. You know what I mean? And they went, yeah, let's fucking make it, you know?
I don't know. Yeah, and what you mentioned about, like, and like, avant-garde and fucking, and things being experimental and new, in my younger days, I always had that as, like, if you're creative or an artist of any kind, like, that's what makes you any good. Which is not exactly correct, but, like, that was my mindset for a long while.
Right. Steve's like laying it down in the chat. It's really cool. He's like, he goes, Killer 7 is like a fever dream with ghost trains. And then he's like, he goes, even if the vision is contradictory, he goes, they are the most graphical. If you're looking for smooth polygons, this ain't the shit you want. But if you want something immersive, yeah, exactly. His games are so visual, right?
Like,
and it's not about that they look the most realistic.
And I hear you about immersive.
It's just they pull you into the world of the game. Like, you're just like, you are.
That sounds like it has a lot to do with story.
Well, and even the way he chooses to tell stories, it's a lot about what he leaves out. It's a lot about what he lets your imagination fill the gaps in. You know, he's big into that.
I'm gonna look into this because I didn't even know.
He goes. Steve goes. AAA games are great, but there are more things out there. Just gotta find it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like anything else. You gotta hunt the creators who are serious about their work. You know who's in the mainstream? Who I feel that way about? Hideo Kojima, the guy who made Metal Gear. That dude.
Yeah, those games are cool.
He thinks about the whole experience. You know, he thinks about the way your eyes are interpreting the visual as your fingers are pressing the buttons. He thinks about the distance the sound travels. He thinks about those things.
Yeah, and you should. As well as, like, for instance, there's a lot of really good little details. And again, I'm going to mention Red Dead Redemption. But there's a lot of good little details. For example, if you take your character and move into a body of water, like, the accuracy of that is really amazing. The like, I run and plunge into water.
Yeah. Sean was saying that too.
Is really well done.
Sean was telling me.
And it's a small detail.
He was saying it's a game where if you want to take a breath, you can and appreciate that breath.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, man. You could just you could kneel and just sit there for a minute. Like, your character could do that. It's the most immersive game I've played. I use it to escape from the horrible world of teaching horror.
Piss number 3, let's go. I like picking these excellent segues to go take a piss.
Background is a character. Ah, that sounds interesting. Do you mean like the setting?
Of all the nights to have the AC break down.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. See, for me, my favorite games are the ones with, like, again, real gritty and with kind of like a very human storyline. I don't love a whole lot of fantasy, like kind of a gritty story. Huh, alright.
Tonight, everything is going swingingly.
Mix.
Huh.
Okay, yeah, it's just used to. Pathological is great if you want an atmospheric thriller. It's a Russian game, so
that sounds like something I'd like. Yeah.
So the translation can be a tad rough, but rough around the edges. I'm going through that right now, actually, with a Suda game that I was playing on the channel called Yo, Tanj! Oh my god, hold up.
I'm gonna be a little bit inappropriate and say everything Russian is rough around the edges. No, I ain't anti-nobody. It just is what it is. I've known enough Russian people in my life to say that.
You know what? I love them. You know what? I'm adopted Slav. I was in a band with a Ukrainian for 10 years and in a relationship with a Russian girl for a year and a half. I am adopted by those people, and I fucking love them.
Yeah.
Fuck them, all them crazy motherfuckers. We are wonderful, Tanj. How are you doing? It's nice to see you back in the chat. It's been a heck of a conversation today. We've really run the gamut.
There's been a lot of brutal murders.
A lot of brutal murders and a lot of talk about art.
Yeah, art and murder.
Which is an interesting combination of elements, I think. You know, we really did run the gamut.
So this is an interesting part here.
Flies, go away.
Because there's a lot of dudes behind this door, but they kind of spread out too. It's kind of fun. All right. Let's see how this goes.
Tell him. Announce your arrival. Announce it. Got him. Got him with the shotty. Do you get a shotty at any point?
Yeah, you do.
Nice.
Ooh, interesting. So yeah, a little bit of trickery here. You gotta be careful.
I like the way you're playing it. Use the door.
Yeah, you have to. Got him. Nice.
Ooh.
Ooh, that guy was there.
Nah,
That's
you
that
good.
shoddy though.
They all dead. They all dead.
I could also switch guns, but I don't think I'm gonna, because I have a lot of ammo here. It's not a lot of ammo, but it's a way better gun.
Nice.
We'll see how things go.
So, like, to go kind of around to the conversation we were having, and to kind of like my feeling, because I have the same reverence and admiration and respect for video games the way I do music or film. You know, I think it's
Yeah, of course.
it's a young art form that's still struggling to get its acceptance as a
among
fucking art
fucking
form.
snobs.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Among people who want to make things less accessible.
But my thing is taking that as a given. I'm not gonna fight against that. That's the given, right? Okay. Because the fact that you even have to defend it is stupid. You know, like the fact that you can appreciate and accept the validity of fucking board games, but you won't accept the. You know what I mean? Like, you understand that craftsmanship went into making a dope-ass board game, and it was carefully considered, and, like, no one denies that, because they're brilliant. Board games are brilliant.
Especially, too, if you're talking about Rockstar. You know what I mean? Like,
well, no,
they're such creative games.
without even going to the specifics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, just as a thing in itself.
Right, as a thing in itself, if you're, like, play Shadow of the Colossus and tell me you can't be moved by a video game.
I don't love Shadow of the Colossus. I don't love it.
You don't love it?
I don't love it.
Wow.
It's an okay game to me.
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Yep.
I'm
familiar with it.
I'm
played it a bit. It's an okay game.
I'm very surprised to hear you say that. Actually,
I got bored.
You got bored. Okay. Did you finish it?
No, I didn't finish it.
Okay.
I got bored before finishing it.
So I lost you. That's fine. That's real.
Yeah,
That's
it didn't
valid.
stay with me.
That, you know what?
You know why? Again, too, I don't love like fantasy so much.
Well, what
I kind of like this tough, gritty.
Right. What I was gonna say is this is an interesting, and again, this speaks to the artistic value of video games. An interesting sticking point in video games is that you can get turned off by the gameplay to the point where you never finish the narrative.
Yeah.
And those corners never meet. That's something that's like, because like for me, the same way I would never turn off a movie halfway unless it was so bad that I like, you know what I mean? Like, unless I was.
No, I'll ditch a movie halfway.
But it's gotta be bad. It's gotta be like you know, most movies, if I put it on, I'm gonna finish it.
Right.
I'm actually that way with games too. Most games I start, I'm gonna finish them.
Really?
Yeah, because I want to see the creators work till the end.
There's a lot to put in.
It's the same way like an album. And I'm gonna listen to the whole album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're putting in a lot more into a video game.
Depending, not every game. You know, not every game.
You are.
Not every game is 60 hours long. You know what I mean?
True, but at the same time, it's not like a movie where like a movie does all the work for you.
Oh, I see. Oh, you mean like you're
investing,
actually. Yeah, but
you're investing time and energy into it.
I'm saying. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm more flexible on giving the creator time to show me. You know what I mean? Show me, especially with a video game because because of that, because it's so tactile. It was incredible. it was so incredible. I didn't even feel.
You came to the door at the wrongest fucking time right there. That was great.
Question from the chat. So Tom, what video game has moved you? Well, we've had a couple of examples
I'm really
today.
stuck on Red Dead Redemption. Other video games that have moved me, I guess. You know, like, again, open world stuff like GTA or the first Red Dead Redemption. This game in particular is one of my favorites of all time because it's like the violent video game, but also because you get to make choices. So many games where like it's open world and you could sort of choose how you approach a situation.
Hold out. I should have ordered.
It's that kind of game.
So.
And it's brutal too. I like brutality and violence and stuff.
So already we're talking about we're talking about tendency. You like games that are gameplay focused.
A little bit, but I like a story. I'm real big on story.
Yes, Red Dead Redemption is my fave too, says Tanja in the chat.
It's like as good as it gets. I mean, it's amazing.
I love the first one. I haven't played.
I actually have played the game several different times, several different ways, and I do different things with Arthur. So like I had one game where I played with Arthur,
to be
where
fair,
he's extremely well dressed.
He's talking about Red Dead Redemption
barefoot.
2, by the way.
But both, shit, I'll talk about both.
Yeah. Well, just to be clear, because
Yeah.
what you getting into.
Yeah, I'm mainly talking about 2. So like, I'll have a game where Arthur is a total asshole. I'll have a game where he's a great guy. I'll play a game where he's extremely well dressed but doesn't wear shoes at any point.
That's me.
Or like just like you just fuck around with it and you play it differently. We shoot a lot of alligators in one. I mean, it depends on how you want to go at it.
And it's cool that you can do those things. You know, that you can take those approaches is interesting. I loved Red Dead 1.
Yeah.
I would put that up. Like if I was making the short list, it's on there. I'm not sure what place it takes, especially recently. Like my top list has been altered. I've really had my mind blown by a lot of video games recently, so it's hard for me to like make a definitive list. Although I love making lists.
I like a lot of older games, man. You know, like I really dig on some of the new stuff. Again, I mentioned Red Dead, I mentioned Grand Theft Auto, but like Max Payne or like some of those old classics like this with PS2 that were fucking really good.
We are them list
like,
boys for
I
sure.
could play them games forever.
Max Payne is on my. If I was making a list of my favorite games of all time,
so good.
That's on there.
So good.
I think that game from a narrative perspective is
Oh, it's great. The whole graphic novel
yeah,
thing. And
it's rock solid. It's you fall in love with that character and you want to see his adventure through to the end. I love all three. Here, I might even say
That's
something.
the thing too. You gotta get caught up in the character you're playing as. Oh, I'll tell you another one.
I'm gonna say something maybe controversial. I actually love all 3 Max Payne games evenly. I think they're all incredible.
I didn't play the third one. I only played the first.
We should play the third one. I think you'd love it.
I like the God of War games too.
Me too.
Because they're very puzzly.
Heavy Rain.
And Kratos is kind of awesome.
See, now can you get into something like that? You ever play Heavy Rain?
I'm not familiar.
I'm trying to think of other games in that style. Indigo Prophecy, Heavy Rain, Detroit, which came out this year. So you're just not even in on that zone.
Really just not.
I would be interested to see what you think of those kind of games. It's much more narrative. Like the gameplay is more decision based and minimalist. It's not like an action game, you know.
I mean, it should have a good
You left a
narrative
trail
to
of
it.
head juice.
That's like how, I don't know, to me, I need the storyline of a game. I need it. In fact, on really, really old games, if you were telling me about a cool game, I would ask you what the story was about.
So Stevie, you saying you like 3 better than 2, but 1 is the best? You talking about Max Payne?
I think so. It looks like it. I never played 3, but 1 is better than 2 for sure.
Yeah, I like 1 better than 2. 3 is really. I think you would really like 3. I think 3 would hit
honest,
you.
man, I didn't even know it existed.
I think I have it. If you, that's another one we can stream. We can stream that. Beyond Two Souls. I didn't finish Beyond Two Souls, but I thought the premise of Beyond Two Souls was really interesting.
Get out of here.
3 has the best music and probably the tightest controls. Yeah, for sure. Oh, not even probably. It definitely has the tightest controls. It's not even a question. It's 3 feels like a Rockstar game finally. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it feels modern. Max Payne 3 feels modern finally.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Max Payne 3 is great, dude. You know what?
I didn't even know.
I think it's really underrated. I don't know. I don't know why it didn't hit with people, but it's great. It's great, and it's a wonderful ending to that trilogy story wise, and just in terms of Max's character progression.
They conclude it well.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's at that time that Max Payne 3. Oh motherfucker! At the time that Max Payne 3 came out, it was right after Kat and I had separated, and I was not playing a lot of video games. Right, like I was just not in that zone. Like my brain was all over the place, and I was a newly single guy, kind of being reckless, and like just the last thing I could find time to do was sit around and play a video game. And then Max Payne 3 came out, and I played it from beginning to end. You know what I mean? Like it like held me to the finish line, and I was invested in everything I was doing at a time when I was not playing a lot of video games.
Let's just work this
You know?
out.
So
Barry,
to me,
let's just
I
work this
couldn't
out.
understand the criticism. The game was great.
Yeah.
I think people wanted a reinvention the way that when Max Payne 1 came out, it was so different from other video games. I think people were looking for Max Payne 3 to come out and be so different from other video games. When instead, I feel like Max Payne...
Modernized like Max Payne, right? I mean, isn't that...
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. What I think what happened was Max Payne 3 came out and was just better at what was going on than all the other games that were doing the same shit at the time. But it's like they birthed that in the first place. So they didn't have... Like, I never understood that notion that the innovator has to change. No, the innovator just has to fucking...
Keep doing what they're doing.
The only person who should be iterative on a work to that degree is the person who created it. Like, yes, we all have loved and appreciated things that were iterative of something else and then took the genre further. But the person, like Zelda doesn't have to not be Zelda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Max Payne doesn't have to not be Max Payne.
No, if Zelda wasn't Zelda, people would be upset. I'm playing a bad game here, though.
Damn, Tom getting mollywopped. Plus 10 to avoision. They were held to a different standard. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Stevie, you know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. I think you were just waiting for Max Payne to reinvent the wheel when it's like, how about they just give you the best version of the wheel, you know, that you've seen? Like, fuck off. That game's tight as fuck. It's a tight butthole in terms of gameplay. And it's got the best bottlenecks. You know how when games bottleneck you into a sequence where you have to do it a certain way and you just get mad because you're like, fuck you, I didn't want to do that way. I wanted to do it a different way. Max Payne 3 bottlenecks you and you're like, yeah, I want to play this action sequence. This is fucking awesome. You know, I'm fucking John McClane, motherfucker.
Nice.
Like, yeah, it's so good at that. It's so good at making you want to do like what is considered a scripted sequence. You know, you're like,
Good.
yeah, like,
but that's good story. That's what that is. That's good writing.
Lost, all lost to the clockwork
God
close.
damn, I can't isolate these guys for shit. They need to be isolated so I can
One
take
at a
them
time.
one by one.
One at a time, homie. One at a time. Don't stress it. Take them one each. One each. Here you go. There he goes. There he
I
goes.
need to kill him with a yellow.
Oh, you have to? Oh,
That's the whole point.
Oh, fuck. So slow. Cuidado is the way.
Fuck these guys. And their mothers.
Man, how you feeling? We over 3 hours, so we can call this at any time you want to call it.
Yeah, we're probably gonna stop soon. But
Damn, that was a quick
fuck it.
3 hours. Holy shit. I didn't even realize it was that long.
Well, we did pause to get more beer.
Oh, true.
Alright, so they're gonna start coming through in a minute. I'm gonna hang out here. Fucking assholes. Bunch of cowards.
Fuck the fucking Diaz brothers.
Because they're fucking cowards. Them and the Diaz brothers. And the fucking Diaz brothers.
Who put this thing together, huh? Me. That's who. Who do I trust?
So I might have a better shot this time if I don't like stir them up and get them all running in the same direction. The Mayweathers?
You know what's funny about Tony? I was gonna say Tony Soprano. Tony Montana. He actually thought he put it together by himself.
Yeah, he kind of had his boys help him.
Kind of
this
had a
time.
lot of help.
But nah, he was the mastermind. He was the brains of the operation. This'll work just fine. I get my red kill here.
Oh, you need one of each?
A red kill and a yellow kill.
Nice.
That one makes him cough up blood, and then you bash his face with the hammer. It's all good stuff.
So we can't get our favorite kill right now. Is what you're telling me?
Oh, I just did. Oh no, this isn't the axe. The
Oh.
axe does that kill where you tap him on the shoulder. That's
I
you
missed.
don't do that with the hammer.
I missed the
That
app.
would be a good move with the hammer as well, though. I don't
It
understand
would
why he doesn't.
yeah, it would totally work. Stop being impatient.
No,
Stop.
I'm not luring them.
You're not luring. You're being
Yeah, I'm
impatient.
luring them. Look. Look, that one dude's coming through.
He's gonna get yellow.
He's gonna get got.
He's gonna get yellow.
He's gonna get got.
The big yellow.
Yellow. He's getting the yellow. Yeah.
The big. Have you played Breath of the Wild?
No.
Legend of Zelda: Breath of the
By
Wild.
Jack London.
No,
No.
by The Legend of Zelda, homie.
I know that's called.
I feel like you would love that game. It's
I like Zelda: Link to the Past. That's
It's my favorite ever.
I love that one so much.
It's my #1 favorite ever.
For SNES.
Yeah.
So I gotta kill him and get his bat.
So it turns out, thanks to Seth Rollins, I'm going to Mania this year. Are you serious? Dude, fuck yeah, homie. Go to Mania.
Wow.
I'm going to watch it in my underwear is my plan.
WrestleMania?
Mm-hmm.
Your buzz make
WrestleMania?
you think fucks.
You mean wrestling?
Wrestling Mania? It's coming? Yeah, it's next weekend.
WrestleMania. I don't know why people always pronounce wrestle like the way they do.
I don't either.
It's
Wrestle.
Wrestle.
Wrestling Mania.
Why did they both run into a cell together?
There it is. There it is. Y'all bitches, come get it.
Shouldn't they be looking for me? Why are they like being dumb?
He gave a bunch of tickets to Capitol because we're doing this thing on the 4th. Fuck yeah.
That's cool.
You know what, Stevie? I never thought for 1 second that you weren't going to this WrestleMania.
Nah,
So
that's what's up.
I'm not even surprised that it happened. It was always in the cards for you, man. That's awesome. Congrats on that, homie. You deserve that shit, man. You've been working hard in that field. It's only right you should be there celebrating, doing a thing, putting in the work. It's just like how we are sitting here celebrating being the Intercontinental Champions of Twitch.
Intercontinental Champion. What a great belt to have.
That's right. That's why that Rocky's there, by the way. That Rocky's on the screen to signify our Intercontinental Championship. Yellow, baby. Oh, no! No!
I have to do a red and a yellow kill with the bat, too.
Tom, when we run Brooklyn, wait, let's see. Tom, when we run Brooklyn, you better come to the show or I'm going to hit you in the teats. Wait, in the teats with a sock. Wait, no, not in the teats. I'm going to hit you with beats in a sock.
With beats?
He's going to hit you
I
with
never even heard of that. What's that, some military shit?
beats in a
I
sock.
thought they use soap in a sock.
Capital Wrestling Championship belt. I want to, I want a shot at the World Wrestling Federation Capital Wrestling Championship belt. We all know that I earned a shot at the World Wrestling Federation Capital Wrestling Championship belt.
I'm trying to win the belt here, right?
Don't blame you hiding away.
Can you ask the guys if they want to rename it the World Wrestling Federation Capital Wrestling Championship belt?
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. It'd be weird if they didn't. I can't get through this fucking
The
part.
World Federation. No, the World Federation Championship Capital belt.
Brel. So dumb. Alright, I'm gonna get through this part and then I think we're gonna call it quits.
Yeah, man.
Gone
I can
for
see
quite
him.
some
He's
time.
losing all his paddles.
We've done all we can do. Yeah.
Give me the red. Give me.
Didn't you already
It
get?
wouldn't. It gave me the yellow.
Didn't you
Alright.
already get the red?
Not with the bat,
Oh, fun.
but I will now.
Champagne, anybody?
Find you.
Ooh.
Find you.
Something about that sounded vicious, right?
Look, we already trying to get WWE to go to not go. You can't use that name. Why? Should they be able to take that from you? No, Capital. Capital's great. What? Cause you put an eagle on it?
Capital idea, my man. I like that. Capital plan, old sport. All that works.
Is it possible to stab me in the eye with a spork? That'd be great. They like y'all though. Y'all invented Sunny Kiss.
I bet he's wiggling around here someplace all fat.
The future of pro wrestling.
Good. Got it. There we go. Now they're gonna open the
I
gate.
see.
I gotta kill these other cats, but they're gonna open the gate at least.
Nah, you're far enough removed. Y'all are far enough removed from that. They won't come for that. Oh, there we go.
So I'll kill these last two dudes, no sweat. and then go on.
You get the save and we'll call it.
Cause all
Fuck
they
it.
got is fists. I got a baseball bat. But there's more than one of them.
I like this run though. This is cool. Run, run, run.
Yeah, you have to run in this game a bit. You no matter how, no matter what, this game an aspect of it is running and hiding like that. It just is.
Big bones.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Steve. I don't think they would though. It don't seem right. It don't seem right. You know what I mean? That's not a fight. No, don't die here. Don't die here.
I'm sorry.
Fuck that. You're right here. You can literally go through the door, homie.
Nah, they're gonna be around still. They're still gonna be hunting me down. They gotta die. They have to. There's no other way. Alright, well whatever. I'll give me some help while they being bitches. No, you don't. Where is he?
You got this. You got this.
Where is the chorizo salad?
What?
What? Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. Oh my God, underrated film. Underrated film.
Here, come on. I'll introduce you to everybody.
Take him. Yes. Yes. That's it. Here we go. Here we go. Here come another. Here come another.
Okay.
Here come another. Yeah, right when he decides he
Because you
wants.
gotta remember, they're hunting me. They think they have the advantage.
They
Meanwhile,
don't.
they don't, because they're not killers like me. They're kind of bitches.
Mm. What
When you're a killer, you could sniff a bitch out from a mile away.
What do you really want from me? What do you really want from me?
I'm gonna kill him with red just for fun. I didn't even
Ooh.
need to.
Kill
Just because it's what I likes to do.
Kill a communist for fun. For a green card, I'm gonna carve him up real nice.
Real nice. There we go. Now I can move on through the next cell block, and we're gonna soon end this because this is too long. But this part's pretty interesting, so we should fuck with it.
Got that save.
Fuck, gonna finish this.
What? Alright.
Motherfucker went full Huey, Dewey, and Louie on that one.
Alright, that's how we're gonna do
Full
it.
boss and ass.
Watch this dude leave, and kill this motherfucker.
My man went full boss and ass.
Big surprise. That's what
How far along percentage-wise would you say you are? This is Steve's asking in the chat.
40 or 50.
40 or 50. Nice.
Yeah.
We getting there.
Maybe about half, yeah, not really further than that.
That's hype. It's not a long series. It's gonna be like 4 episodes max.
Yeah, it'll probably be like 3-4 episodes.
Well, that just means we end up deciding what to do next. You know? Max Payne 3 is what we should do next.
Yeah, I'll play some Max Payne.
Fuck that.
I mean, the original, though, that's like...
Well, no.
Also, too, I like in that game that they incorporate, like, the occult, and then they also incorporate, like, Norse mythology. That guy saw me.
Did he really?
And
Well-
Norse mythology, I think that's kind of cool that they incorporated that in the game.
Cleanser with Terradrome. Terradrome, yeah. Well, I'm gonna show Tom some Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight would be an easy one to do a one-off on. That's an easy stream to just do. That game is brilliant. I love Dead by Daylight. I'm very attached to Friday the 13th. And I think it's an underrated game. It's gonna come out for the Switch, and I'm probably
It's underrated?
Yeah.
I keep hearing about it.
well, because you're in a circle with people who've been playing it, and we're all going, yeah, that game is great.
Oh, I guess I'm hearing it from you guys.
Yeah, you're right. You're hearing it from me and our friends who have all little by little gotten together and started playing it and been like, yeah, this game is awesome.
Kind of stuck here. This sucks. Because I didn't grab that gun that's over there.
Bum
So
rush him.
maybe I'll wait until he reloads.
Yeah, bum rush him.
And
Bum
then
rush
go
him.
for the gun. I might just have to fucking jet. Reloading, just jet. Fuck.
No, you did fine. That was great.
Nah, I didn't because I didn't grab the gun.
Oh, then you did.
You have to press the button to do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Alright, I'm done. Fuck this.
All right, that's it. We going out. We going out on an L. We going out on an L.
I
So
don't give a fuck.
sometimes you
It is what it is.
hit continue just so
There'll be plenty of fucking.
just so we see where we are next
dubs.
time. You know what I mean?
It's doing time. It's this.
All right, cool. So
It's
that's
this part. So I have to get over here. They're gonna come running down. So the next time we get started again, it's gonna be here.
perfect.
So I gotta kill that guy while the other guy's not looking, and that's about it. But I'm kind of tired.
Nah, we done, man.
Yeah.
So what we did 3 hours and 28 minutes. That's plenty. That's fucking plenty.
That's ridiculous.
What it comes down to is fuck the fucking Diaz brothers.
Fuck the Diaz brothers.
Fuck Bad Boy as a staff, as a record label, and as a motherfucking crew. And
Fuck Mobb Deep too.
yeah.
I don't actually mean that. I actually like Mobb Deep. I was just quoting Tupac.
Just continue to spout Tupacisms as I.
I'm actually a huge fan of Mobb Deep, to be honest. Big fan. Incredible music.
Shmoney. Bye. Oh, I didn't have the Shmoney set up properly. Hold up. Shmoney 2 times. No, that's not it. That's the BRB. Shmoney 2 times. I'll blow away. Where the fuck is it? Shmoney 2 times. I'm sorry. Bye, everybody.